We are live inside Labatt Memorial Park here in London. It's London Majors Baseball here on MajorsTV and up in the Game Day London broadcast booth. I'm Noah Smith. Off to my right here, Reece Doumani. Reece, pleasure joining me here in the booth tonight. It's good to have you along here for Game 1 of the Intercounty Baseball League quarterfinals.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. And there's no better time of the year than playoffs, right? Especially in the Intercounty. You get the defending IBL champions back at it again after an exciting game last night. It's going to be a good night of ball.
It sure is. Last night, the London Majors, the IBL pennant clinching game, and a very quick turnaround, less than 24 hours, and they're back at the ballpark for Game 1 of the playoffs. Is this going to affect the Majors in any way? You got to think they're a little bit tired after that ball game last night. A real exciting 9-inning, full-effort contest against the Guelph Royals.
Yeah, and this is Game 2 of 4 in a row. If you're looking at the entire series, like you said, against Guelph last night, and then back-to-back against the Brantford Red Sox here, Games 1, 2, and 3. Of course, tomorrow night in Brantford, and then back here Sunday for Game 3. And yeah, I think possibly helps Brantford. I know not a whole lot of people are giving them a chance. 2 wins all year long, but if it's an opportunity to take 1 or 2 games away from the Majors, this is a stretch to do it. 4 days in a row, the Majors are in action. The Brantford Red Sox haven't played since Saturday, with their Sunday game being rained out in Barrie. So rested club against a club that's been very busy.
And the Majors are going to have to keep on being busy and keep on being active here in this series. Like you mentioned, Games 1, 2, 3 all coming this weekend. So it's a lot of baseball in a short amount of time. And with that comes the issue of pitching. The Majors started Jose Arias last night. Fernando Fernandez came in after the bullpen. And then Braden Farrington for a couple innings as well. So they're going to have to go and use some arms they might not usually here in the first couple games of this series. And it starts with Pedro de los Santos on the mound for the London Majors to start. Let's go ahead and check out the starting pitchers in tonight's ball game. And first for London, it is going to be Pedro de los Santos. You see his record this year on your screen there, Reece. 3-3, not the Pedro we saw in 2021. The ERA elevated, but he's been much better since moving to the bullpen in the last few weeks of the regular season, but now back starting.
Yeah, and I think the Brantford Red Sox expected to see him at some point, like you said, whether out of the pen, whether starting. With it being 4 games in a row, you kind of knew that he was going to get at least 1 start throughout the series. So, Game 1, not surprised at all to see him. Like you said, that ERA is elevated, but he's going to be around the zone, and it's never a bad thing as a pitcher. For the Sox, you got to be aggressive early in counts because he will be in that strike zone early on, but he was great last year. There's no reason to expect anything less this year.
And obviously coming into this ball game, the Brantford Red Sox well rested. We weren't sure coming into tonight who we were going to see start the ball game. Tell us a little bit about the starter on the Red Sox side of things.
Yeah, haven't really seen a whole lot of them, to be honest. It's kind of, what are we going to see? We don't really know. And, ERAs are elevated across the Brantford Red Sox starting staff, bullpen. It's just been an overall bad year. 2 wins. Who knows? In a playoff series, postseason's a different animal. Second year in a row, these 2 teams are meeting. Obviously, much different story last year. Sox much more competitive, but this year it's the next man up mentality. That's what it's got to be for this pitching staff. And if the starter can't get it done, Garcia, then it's got to be the next guy in the pen. Whether that's Gowing, Bruder, and Brian Louie are the 3 guys who are in the pen tonight for the Sox. And Garcia, he's got to throw strikes. He can't get into the habit of walking guys, and that's what's killed the Red Sox all year. Bennett Moore struggled all year for the Sox, walking guys, and just be in the zone. Let them put the ball in play. Sox aren't the greatest defensive team, so that kind of makes it sound like not a good idea to have them put the ball in play, but that's what you got to do. You can't get yourself into a walk fest.
Well, far too many times we see, and not just with the Red Sox, pitchers around the league and pitchers in baseball everywhere, the walks are what really comes back to kill you. Last night, Jose Arias will be the guy to tell you that. It wasn't necessarily the walks that got to him. Deep counts. He was facing 5, 6, 7 pitches in at-bats, and that slowly will take its toll on you. He was only able to go 3 or 4 innings in the ball game, and that's the type of situation where you want to be as effective as you can for Garcia. The London Majors are going to hit the baseball. They have guys up and down the lineup that batted over 300 this year. They almost doubled the next team in terms of home run output this season. You can't be afraid to let them hit the ball. You have to trust your stuff and try to get some outs and try to do it as efficiently as you can.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Get ground balls, get pop-ups in the second, third, fourth pitch of at-bats. And with the Sox having a small bullpen, not just tonight, all year. I remember last time the Sox were here, the regular season finale between these 2 clubs, Sox might have had 1 or 2 guys in the bullpen, so they've needed that longevity. They've needed their starters to throw 130, 135 pitches. Obviously not good for the long term in the season, but be around the zone. You got to be able to trust your defense. You got to be able to pitch inside. You can't be scared against this London Majors team, because if you're scared, you're going to see a lot of mistakes and you're going to see a lot of balls hit out of the ballpark, both here and at Arnold Anderson Stadium. So if you're down in the zone, maybe just off the plate, but if you're down and you're around the plate, there's always room for success. You're always going to be successful when you stay down in the zone.
Majors getting finished and out onto the field. One of 3 games in the Intercounty Baseball League tonight here at Labatt Memorial Park as the Brantford Red Sox in town to take on the Majors here in Game 1. It's just about time for anthems on field level, so we'll go ahead and take a break here on Majors TV. We'll have starting lineups and first pitch next here on the Majors YouTube channel.
Capturing emotion in every shot.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
The anthem's complete and just about ready for first pitch here in London. We welcome you to Majors TV coverage of the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs. A good one on tap here. Game 1 between the Brantford Red Sox and the London Majors. Now let's go ahead and check out the starting lineups here for the Brantford Red Sox as they get set to face off against Pedro de los Santos. Reece, let's take it through and look at some of the highlighted players here. Jesse Fishbaum obviously will lead things off here for Brantford in the ball game.
Yeah, he's the energizer guy for the Red Sox all year long. He's had to take on that role from Gianfranco Morello, who has moved on to Welland. If he's not into the game in his head, obviously physically, but if he is not mentally into the game right from the start, it's just going to be bad all the way down the lineup. He gets things going, and then, of course, the veteran Nick Burdett. We've seen milestones this year from him. We've seen his 1,000th career at bat. We've seen his 300th career hit. It's been a good year for Burdett. As the year has gone on, he has slowly started to take that ball the other way. He's starting to become that complete hitter that Brantford's used to seeing in recent years. So if Fishbaum and Burdett aren't going, it's going to be a very long series. And, of course, once we get into Brantford tomorrow, you'll see a couple more guys make their way into the lineup. But in terms of tonight, if they aren't going, it's going to be very rough.
So hopefully the Brantford Red Sox, as you see their starting lineup there, will get things going here. They would sure love to. It's Pedro de los Santos on the hill for the Majors in this ball game against the Red Sox as the starting moment of the first pitch gets finished up on field level. We mentioned 2 other games going on in the Intercounty Baseball League tonight. We're just one of them here. Game 2 between Dwelland and Kitchener taking place at Jack Couch Ballpark. And also Barrie is in Toronto, Game 1 of that series as we take a look at the playoff tree. Finally complete now. We didn't know exactly what the picture was going to look like last night, but now we know it's London Brantford, Guelph Hamilton, and then, of course, Welland Kitchener underway with the Welland win last night.
Yeah, that was a really good game, too, in Welland. Caught a bunch of that before obviously switching over to you guys and watching that exciting finish against the Guelph Royals. But that's going to be an interesting series. Obviously, Welland, they wanted to be number one. They were there all season long. Fortunately, end up dropping to third. So they get the Kitchener Panthers, who had a disappointing playoffs last year. Got swept by the Brantford Red Sox in round one. They're looking to have a much better performance with the 3 of 5 back in the first couple of rounds instead of the 2 out of 3. They're looking to rebound, and of course, Welland, they're looking to be one. They were one all year. They're looking to be one throughout the playoffs and hopefully taking home their first championship.
So that game going on at Jack Couch Ballpark tonight, just getting underway shortly. The Barrie Bay Cats, as mentioned, they're at Christie Pitts tonight. That game rained out just the other day as well, so they're trying to get that ball game in and underway. Pedro de los Santos, you see him on the hill for the Majors as he gets the start in the ball game tonight. And the Majors, after an exciting finish last night against the Guelph Royals, looking to try and ride off the momentum a little bit. Fairly similar lineup, fairly similar defensively as well to what we saw a night ago.
Yeah, Majors just build off the momentum, right? You got a team that is number 8 and was number 8 all year. Stick to what you've been doing all year long. It's not about trying to do too much just because it's the playoffs. You finished first for a reason. Stick to what has worked.
So Jesse Fishbaum will step in to lead things off here for the Red Sox. Top of the first inning here from London, Game 1 of the Intercounty Baseball League quarterfinals. A best 3 out of 5 here in the quarter and semis this year. The series moved to 7 in the finals for the two teams that will get there. First pitch from Pedro is to the plate and bunted foul by Fishbaum. So 0-1 to start the ball game here. 7:42 the first pitch here on this Friday night in London.
Yeah, I like that idea by Jesse Fishbaum, showing bunt first pitch. Catch the defense sleeping, possibly, not expecting it. Obviously, Brantford, they want to score first, and bunting is not the way to do that. But I like that by Fishbaum. He can run. He can definitely beat out a bunt.
0-1 here from Pedro. On the ground, shortstop Candell. A high hop, throw across the diamond, and picked by Perrier with a big stretch as he saves the throw from Candell, and there's one gone to start the ball game.
Yeah, nice simple ground ball to start off Candell's night defensively. Obviously not the throw he wants, but you know that's what you want your first baseman to do. They bail you out from time to time, and Perrier's got the length to do it.
Perrier in the ball game tonight, did not play in the game against the Guelph Royals on Thursday, but getting the start against the Red Sox tonight. Had a good season at the plate, despite not qualifying for the average leaderboard. Didn't get enough at-bats. Had a healthy average this season. Showed some pop in the bat as well. Major's happy to have him slotted into the lineup tonight. De Los Santos 0-1 delivery will miss outside, and now the at-bat to Nick Burdett will move to 1-1.
Nick Burdett, slow start to the year. He tried to pull everything. And as I mentioned off the top, he started to take that ball to left field. He started to go against the defense because a little bit of a shift here from the Majors, but not too bad from what we've seen certain teams playing Burdett. But just take the ball the other way, a simple approach.
Swung on, and I think he might have got a piece of that one as it goes back to the backstop. Count will move to 2-2 here on Nick Burdett. A little bit better of a crowd than we saw last night here in London. Of course, the weather more favorable here on this Friday night. No clouds in the sky, wind blowing in from left field. Dos Santos on 2-2, and that one is fouled off at the plate. Burdett got a piece of it. Or no, they're going to say that he swung and missed, and Burdett is retired here for the second out.
Yeah, it looked like umpire raised his hands. Steve Cochran calling the balls and strikes. Looks like he did raise his hands up in the air as that was a foul ball, but Nick Burdett, no argument. And the Sox got to stay in the strike zone. Obviously, with 2 strikes, you want to be protective. You got to be, paying attention to anything close. You expand the zone 2 inches off each side, but early in the game, just quality at bat. Stay in the strike zone.
Pitch is going to be popped up and out of play here. Batter is Evan Ryan for the Sox, the 3-hitter in the order, designated hitter in the ball game. De Los Santos, the 0-1 delivery misses outside. Count evens up at 1-1.
Evan Ryan, one of 3 juniors tonight for the Red Sox. coming off a single-A OBA championship a couple of weekends ago.
Healthy cut there from the designated hitter. 1-2 now here as De Los Santos moves ahead in the count. Trying to get through this top of the first inning and get the Majors on the bats quickly. Leg kick delivery and a swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Pedro De Los Santos, and he makes quick work of the Red Sox here on the top of the first. 1-2-3, and the Majors will head to the bats here in the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, that's exactly what De Los Santos wanted. That's exactly what the Majors wanted. A very quick first inning. Get your offense to the plate. You know, limited to 4 runs yesterday against Guelph. Obviously good pitching for the Royals, but here you want to get your offense to the plate as quickly as possible. That's exactly what De Los Santos did, making quick work of the Sox in the first.
So no scores. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. Let's check out the starting lineup for the hometown London Majors, brought to you by EatHealthyEats.ca as they get set to face off against Eddie Garcia here. Jacob Newton once again in the leadoff spot tonight. Him and Taylor Wright have been a big tandem for the Majors at 1 and 2 of late. Cleveland Brownlee looking to avenge that 0-5 last night in that pennant clinching game at DH. Robert Mullen, of course, the catcher, and then you see the rest of that London Majors order here. They can all hit the ball.
Yeah, and you got to expect the ball to be put in play. The Sox have to be on their toes. The last couple of times they've been at Labatt Park, 5 errors in each of those games. So 10 combined the last 2 trips here to Labatt Park, and expect it in play. They're not going to strike out a whole lot. Like you said, Cleveland Brownlee, how many times is he going to go 0 for 5 in a season? Probably less than 5 times. So you know he wants to have a bounce-back game, and just all around the Majors, they're looking to score runs. They've put up 10 quite a bit against the Sox this season. So you know the offense is hungry for more, and a good crowd on hand, like we talked about, to see the Majors offense explode on a beautiful night.
Garcia finishing up his warm-up pitches here at Labatt Park. The Majors will head to Brantford tomorrow to Arnold Anderson Stadium. Wow, I don't really get that one on the first try. Evening game on Saturday night, and then back here at Labatt Park. 6 o'clock is the start time on Sunday. They'll get a day off if the series goes past the 3 games, and then play Tuesday and Wednesday night to round out the 5-game series.
Yeah, and I can provide a sun update. If you're coming down to Brantford, or coming up to Brantford, I guess it would be, heading east on the 401, good chance the ball game doesn't start till 8:15. So you have a little bit more time than you normally would.
Some things don't change in baseball, and the sun setting beyond the center field wall in Brantford is one of those things. You're not getting underway before 8, that's for sure.
Oh, we definitely enjoyed those late September games last year in the playoffs. Really enjoyed that. Started at 7:30.
Now Steve Cochran, the home plate umpire and crew chief, is going to make his way out to the mound here. And Reece, I am not sure what this could be about at all.
I wonder if it's the sticker on the top of his hat.
Sticker on the top of the helmet there, or the hat, yeah. It's got to be what it is. Got a new hat into the game today, and Steve Cochran didn't like the way that the lights were shining off the sticker on his hat.
Garcia, big smile after that. That's one way to start your outing, I guess.
First pitch is going to be hit out to left center field in the gap, tracking this one down, and it's going to hit and roll to the wall out in left center field. Newton rounding second hard. He's going to head to third, and the first pitch he sees in the bottom of the first inning is going to be a triple off the bat of Jacob Newton.
Newton wasting no time at all, taking that pitch the other way, left center field, splitting the outfield, and well, you're going to learn quickly that the Majors are able to find gaps more often than not, and you got to be ready. They're going to be aggressive. They want to score first, and they're 90 feet away from doing it. There's power up and down this lineup, 1 through 9, especially with that slugger at the bottom, Keith Candell.
Pitch here from Garcia to the plate is going to be hit on the ground first base. Picked up Burdette, the throw home, not in time with the tag. So 2 pitches and a run across for the Majors here. It's 1-0 in the bottom of the first.
That's a good job by Wright, just not giving up an at-bat, but giving up an at-bat for the team, putting a ball on the ground in play, noticing Sox defense wasn't in, and that's something that has been kind of puzzling throughout the year. You get certain situations, early in a playoff game, you want to save as many runs as possible, so you bring the infield in. Sox haven't done that a whole lot this year, so for Wright to get a ground ball on the infield, Burdette probably still had to play at home, but just, unselfish at-bat, getting that first run across.
So now Cleveland Brownlee, the designated hitter. First pitch curveball fouled off towards the Majors dugout.
Breaking stuff has been a problem for Cleveland against Brantford pitching, especially in the last couple times out against the Sox. Cleveland only reaching base one time in each of those games. So we'll see if the Sox learned from that. They took the scouting report from the last few times that they've played the Majors that Cleveland has been out front quite a bit, and they've got them caught on those off-speed pitches early in counts.
0-2 here on Cleveland. Here's the pitch and a swing and a miss. So Brownlee down on strikes. 3 straight pitches for Garcia, and there's 2 gone here in the inning.
Yeah, and Garcia minimize the damage. 1 runs across, that's it. Stop it there. Stop the bleeding as quick as possible, especially when you get into the heart of this lineup. Mullen, Joseph, as it goes on and on. So, 2 quick outs, shut it down here. 2 out runs have been a problem all year. At least 80% of the runs the Sox have given up, at least at home, have been with 2 outs.
Look good in the last 2 batters here after the ground out and the strikeout to Cleveland Brownlee. Pitch to Mullen in the dirt, and the count will move to 1-0.
And that first pitch of the ball game to Newton was just to get me over fastball, just to get him ahead in the count, and Newton did a good job jumping over it. Good adjustment here early on for Garcia.
Pitch to Mullen, fouled off, and that one gets well out of play to even the count up at 1-1. We see far too many times, and not that it's a terribly bad thing, but first pitch of the ball game, pitchers just try to get a strike across the board. Just start their night well, right? Newton wasn't taking that for an answer. He was ready to swing, and he drilled one into the gap for a triple, as now Mullen swings through a curveball. It's 1-2.
And that's what championship caliber clubs do. They're ready right from the first pitch of an at-bat. It's just the little things that you do right. And, of course, you'll make adjustments as the game goes on, but if you can jump on the opposing pitcher early, that's always a plus.
1-2 will miss and bounce in the batter's box outside. Count evens up at 2 apiece now. 2 gone in the inning. Majors have a run across. An early 1-0 lead. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Mullen just underneath it. Flown out to left field. Wilson. And makes the catch underneath it to retire the Majors here in the bottom half of the first inning. But the Majors will pick up a run. It's a Jacob Newton leadoff triple, scoring on the ground ball by Taylor Wright to give them a 1-0 lead after an inning here in London.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Back here inside the Game Day London broadcast booth. in Game 1 of this quarterfinal matchup, and the Red Sox find themselves trailing by a run. Noah Smith, Reece Doumani on the call tonight. And Reece, just one mistake in that bottom of the first inning. You put a get-me-over fastball, Newton drills it into the gap, and that's all it takes to be down 1-0.
Yeah, and that can't happen in the playoffs. It can't happen all year, but especially in the playoffs. You get down early, and the Sox are used to it. So I guess that's a bonus. They're used to playing from behind, so take that what it is. Majors in the middle of a stretch of 4 straight games. Still plenty of time. 8 innings left to go, but being down against the number 1 seeded Majors, never good. And like you said, it was one mistake, a get-me-over fastball to start the ball game. Can't happen. Can't happen at all. Too many mistakes means too many runs, which means too many losses.
If you are going to take the positives out of the inning, though, if you take away that one-pitch triple with Newton leading off the inning, Garcia actually looked very good against both Wright, Brownlee, and Mullen. Kind of had them off balance. The Mullen fly ball, though it was deep just in front of the warning track, he got underneath it, didn't really get a whole lot on the swing, so he's looked pretty good through the next 3 batters, but the Majors do take a 1-0 lead here into the top of the second inning, and Roger Keane will lead things off for the Red Sox. Here is the first pitch from De Los Santos. Fastball is going to miss up in the zone, and the count moves to 1-0.
Roger Keane, not the greatest of years, 167. He's got a couple of homers, but just a lot of times you see a lot of swings and misses and a lot of 3-pitch strikeouts. And it's just when you get down to 2 strikes, you got to cut it down, cut down the unnecessary movement. And Roger Keane, he takes a lot of big swings.
Let that one go on the outside edge. De Los Santos now working the count to a ball and 2 strikes in his favor. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout there for Pedro De Los Santos, who's looking good so far. And there's one gone.
Yeah, 3rd straight strikeout for De Los Santos. And you can tell that he is on and ready to go. Ready to make another run at a championship. London Majors need it. They're going to need lots of pitching. It's if you have enough pitching, you'll be fine. And that's what you talk about in the major leagues. You talk about that with 10-year-olds. The more pitching you have, the better off you're going to be. De Los Santos is dialed in very early. Sox are going to have to be ready for attack early in counts.
The way the IBL as well, Reece, has laid out the playoffs this year, no 2 out of 3 series. You got to win at least 3 in a series, and they're making them quick as well. We look at this series in particular, 3 straight games to start it off, and they want this thing finished by Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So there's not a whole lot of time to wait around and rest up your pitchers. You got to have guys ready to go. As this one's hit on the ground to third base, picked up by Wright. It's going to have a strong throw across the diamond. He does. It's in time for the second out.
And that was a strike from Taylor Wright at third base. Like you mentioned, he dropped back and took the easy hop. Obviously, you talk about charging the baseball and getting in front, getting your momentum moving towards first base, but you got to make adjustments depending on what it is. Not every ground ball is the same, right? And Taylor Wright, that was textbook at third base. Dropped back that leg, took it on a big hop, and it was a strike to first base.
2 gone quickly here for Pedro to start the top half of the second inning. First pitch, ball upstairs. Jordan Young, the shortstop for the Sox, batting now here with 2 outs in the inning. Pitch, fastball inside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Jordan Young coming over midway through the year. Him and Aiden Colangelo, 2 guys who came from Hamilton in just a situation where the Sox were, didn't have enough players midway through the year. A couple of guys jumping ship, a couple of guys just not being able to make it to games as often as they want to. So, Young and Colangelo, 2 additions to the lineup midway through the year, and they've been bottom of the order guys. They've been on the corner. Third base, Jordan Young usually is, but with Orozco out of the lineup tonight for the Sox, that pushes Jordan Young over to short.
He's ahead in the count here, 2-1. Here's the delivery from the Majors lefty, swung on and missed, and it's 2-2.
Jordan Young there just pulled his head. He was looking at the left field wall as the pitch was coming in. Just now with 2 strikes, just watch it all the way in. Watch the ball hit your bat.
Fastball called, strike 3 on the outside edge. And Pedro de los Santos, another strikeout to get him through the top half of the second inning in order.
Yeah, just the Sox, the inability to put the ball in play has hurt them so far tonight. 4 of the 6 batters have gone down via the K, and just unnecessary two-strike approaches, not good two-strike approaches. You always make sure you got to put the ball in play. Don't try to pull everything. With 2 strikes, it's hard to hit a baseball. Like, I'm not taking that away from anyone, but you got to be able to make adjustments as the at-bats go along, and just big swings too late in at-bats.
So the Majors will get to the bats here in the bottom half of the second inning, and our camera pans down to the bench as you see Cleveland Brownlee celebrating a birthday today at the ballpark. He got into the stadium today, Reece, and he came right up here to the press box. He said, "Smitty, is the mic on?" And he grabbed the mic, and he gave a nice address to his teammates down on the field. He said, "It's Cleve's birthday. Cleve was born on this day, and he's here to save the day."
Think he's loose all the time?
There is no other way that Cleve shows up to the ballpark than ready to play. That guy loves it. It's part of the reason why he's back this year. And we talked about it last night on the broadcast, the guy that we were almost certain after the championship he was going to hang up the cleats. But, of course, Junior wanted him back at the Diamond, and he put on a show this year, a renaissance season, smashing his home run total record, his RBI total. Average down a little bit, but that came with the power numbers.
Yeah, it's almost not been fair at times when you see Cleveland Brownlee step to the plate, and it helps that he's got protection behind him this year. You get Mullen and Joseph. You can't pitch around Cleveland Brownlee. I don't care what the reason is. You just can't do it, and he's taking advantage of that. A lot of hitters or a lot of people around, Major League Baseball mostly, they'll be like, oh, well, he's getting protection, so they got to pitch to him. Well, yeah, obviously. And Cleveland Brownlee, he's taking full advantage of that. Didn't expect him. I didn't expect him back this year. He's got his championship. All right, that's a good way to end, but looks like he wants back-to-back, and I think that'd be a little bit better to head out back-to-back, even though we'd love to have him again next year.
Starling Joseph will step in to lead things off here for the Majors in the bottom half of the second inning. First pitch upstairs with a curveball from Garcia, and it's 1-0. Garcia, although surrendering that run in the first inning, got through it in just 10 pitches. Ripped on the ground, third base. Picked up Colangelo to throw across the diamond in time. And Starling Joseph is retired quickly here to begin the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, good piece from Joseph. Just Aiden Colangelo happened to be standing right there. Just quick backhand, made it look very easy and threw a strike over to Nick Burdett at first base. And just the simple plays that the Sox have failed to make a lot of times this year can make a difference. And Aiden Colangelo, that's a play that anyone at third base in this league needs to make, and he did a good job there, going to the backhand, dropping to one knee, and like I said, throwing a strike over to first.
A strike and in plenty of time to get Starling Joseph, who runs pretty well for the Majors. First pitch to Byron Reichstein is going to be upstairs. Byron last night against the Guelph Royals, first base, and now tonight against Brantford has moved out to left field.
Gotta love versatility, eh?
Used to playing in the outfield, played a majority of 2021 in right field, although he did play first base as well. Big cut from the former playoff MVP, and it's 2-1. Garcia, good pace to his game so far. 2-1 delivery upstairs. Good take by Reichstein, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, a pitch that just stayed up. Looked like he went to the curveball. Didn't break as much as he wanted to. And against a guy like Reichstein, you don't really want to live there with your curveball anyways. So, but a good take. Now he's got a good hitter's count here, 3-1.
Fastball in the zone, and the count moves to full now for Garcia as he tries to work through this middle of the Majors order here in the second inning. Here's the full count delivery off the plate. Reichstein will take the walk, and it will be aboard here for the Majors with one gone in the inning.
Yeah, really good at-bat there, and that's what you want. It broke a streak of 4 straight guys retired for Garcia, and now he's got to pitch out of the stretch. And a lot of times, Sox pitching staff doesn't like doing that, and it's hurt them quite a bit. They've been in the stretch a lot, but a good at-bat, worked it full and was able to watch ball 4 high. Just good discipline at the plate.
Reichstein aboard here, not going as the first pitch is swung on and fouled off by Dan Perrier out of play. Perrier this season for the Majors appeared in 32 games, only had 90 at-bats registered, but hit at a clip of 378 in the games that he did appear in. Curveball called a strike on Perrier, and it's 0-2.
Garcia doing a really good job here early on of switching speeds and not living in one location. You see curveballs up, you see them down and away, you see the fastballs. He's moving it around the plate, so that's what you like to see early on.
Pitch just missing there. Good location from Garcia, but he doesn't get the call as it misses low on the 6'9" Dan Perrier.
Yeah, good spot to miss. Just a little bit too much glove movement from Roger Keane. That's a clear indication there that the ball was down.
1-2 again. To the plate. Perrier on the ground, second base. Might have a chance at 2. They're just going to go to 1, and the throw just barely beats Perrier getting down the line as Gallagher flipped it in time to Burdette, and there's another out on the board. 2 gone in the inning.
Yeah, no chance at a double play there. Perrier obviously with the high chopper, Gallagher having to come back a little bit, and with him not having the height that Perrier has, he had to reach up a bit, so not a chance that he was going to turn 2 there. Just a good job by Perrier to put the ball in play, get it on the right side, and now Reichstein's in scoring position. Majors looking to extend that lead.
Garcia going to look for a big out here with 2 gone in the inning. Majors, as you mentioned, do have a runner in scoring position, but this is once again, Reece, where we talked about in the first inning for Garcia. Sure, 1 run an inning doesn't seem too bad, but in a 9-inning ball game, that slowly starts to add up. I'd love to try and get out of this one cleanly. It's Austin Wilkie at the plate for London. Pitch inside with the fastball, 1-0.
And you think you get breaks when you get down to the bottom, 7, 8, 9 hitters, but there are no breaks in this London Majors lineup at all. You got to pitch Austin Wilkie like he's hitting second or third.
Brings the fastball to him on 1-0. Wilkie was taking, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike here. Reichstein takes his lead at second base, not a big one. Going to need a ball into the outfield to score him here for Wilkie with 2 gone. Garcia checks back. Grabs his sign. Here's the delivery from the righty. Curveball hit on the ground. Shortstop going to have to be quick to get Wilkie to throw across the diamond in time to get him. And Garcia and the Red Sox escape the bottom of the second inning unscathed. It's 2 complete here at Labatt Park in Game 1 of the quarterfinals. The Majors lead by a score of 1-0 here on your home for London Majors Baseball, Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
We're back here at Labatt Memorial Park here in London. A 1-0 lead for the hometown Majors here as we move along to the 3rd inning. And Pedro de los Santos back onto the mound here for London. Reese's looked good through the first 2 innings so far that he's worked.
Yeah, he's been very efficient. 4 Ks through the first 6 batters. He's faced the minimum so far. And with De Los Santos, you don't need a whole lot of run support for him. Majors could easily win this game with just 2 runs. Obviously, they don't want to. But with De Los Santos and the groove he's been in so far, it looks like it's going to be that kind of ball game where the Majors don't need to explode offensively. They just need to get 3, 4, get some insurance, and just let De Los Santos do his thing because he's been around the plate. He's getting outs early in counts. He's gotten a couple of 3-pitch strikeouts, so he's looked very good.
Swing and a miss to begin the inning here as Gallagher is through that fastball.
When you can get guys to chase out of the zone on the first and second pitch, it's just going to make your night a whole lot longer. You're going to see De Los Santos get into the 7th, 8th, and possibly the 9th inning. And there it is, 0-2, and I don't think he's thrown 1 strike to Gallagher.
Up 0-2 in the count, pitch to the plate. That one's going to miss, doesn't get the chase, and the count moves to 1-2.
Yeah, just a situation where it was not necessary at all to throw a strike. Gallagher had chased the 2 previous pitches, and it wouldn't surprise me if they go out of the zone here as well.
Mullen sets up the pitch from De Los Santos outside, and from 0-2 it moves to 2-2 now. Gallagher trying to lead off the inning here for the Sox and get aboard. Pitch from the lefty is fouled off and gets out of play. So we'll have to redo the 2-2.
Yeah, this is turning into a really good at-bat for Nolan Gallagher. As you mentioned, 0-2 to start very quickly. Now 2-2, he's fouled off a pitch, so it's been good as this at-bat has gone along.
And the 2-2 taken for strike 3. 5th strikeout of the ball game for De Los Santos. And there's one gone to begin the 3rd.
Yeah, just a pitch that's too close to take. Gallagher obviously not agreeing with the call, but, umpires will expand the strike zone with 2 strikes. If it's an inch or 2 off the black, and with De Los Santos being on so far, he's going to get that calls. With the high-caliber pitcher that he is, he's going to get those.
Squaring around to bunt and getting that one down off the mound. De Los Santos has to spin, fire to one, and in time with the stretch as Perry at first base makes the catch, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, De Los Santos hopping right off the mound and following a 6-pitch at-bat against Gallagher. He gets a 1-pitch out here against Gurecki, and pitchers got to be athletes. Once you're done throwing the ball, get moving, get into a fielding position so you're ready to go, and he had to be quick. Gurecki can get down the line. He had to be quick, throw a strike right to Perrier, and obviously he's got the wingspan for it to come off the bag. So a good play all around from the Majors defense.
First pitch, bottom of the zone, doesn't get the call, and the count moves to 1-0 here on Aiden Colangelo, the 9-hitter in the order here for Brantford. That one is a strike, evens the count up at 1-1.
Yeah, Colangelo, 103 average on the year. He's been into 12 games. Just another guy that's got to be able to put the ball in play. Too many strikeouts this year.
Fouled back, count moves to 1-2.
That's obviously been a downfall for the Sox with just those 2 wins. The bottom of their order has rarely been good. Pedro, just attack, just throw strikes.
And fastball well off the plate there as Mullen had to reach to catch that one and save it. Count to 2-2.
And he fired it right back at De Los Santos, too.
Doesn't like that he had to work to catch that one well out of the zone over into the left-hand batter's box. Count at 2-2. Here's the pitch from De Los Santos. That one's going to miss outside as well, and now the count will be full here for Colangelo.
Just a guy you can't put on base for free. You get back to the top of the order. Fishbaum and Burdette are going to be those 2 guys that are going to hurt you tonight. You can't be walking the number 9 hitter. Wouldn't surprise me if it's right down the middle here. See if he can put the ball in play.
3-2, and it's laced back up the middle for a base hit. So Colangelo finds the Sox first hit of the ball game, and he's aboard with 2 outs here in the 3rd.
And like I said, Colangelo hitting 103 on the year. There's no reason not to throw it near the heart of the plate. He's not going to hurt you with the long ball. At the odd time, he's going to find a gap, but more than likely, it's just going to get a line drive, ground ball, single. Again, bad spot. You get Jesse Fishbaum into the lineup, who can do quite a bit. So, good thing is, De Los Santos, he's got 2 outs. You're 1 pitch away from getting the offense back to the plate.
First pitch going to miss upstairs to Fishbaum. Count moves to 1-0. Colangelo at first base here with 2 outs in the inning. Not a big lead as he protects against the pickoff move from De Los Santos, but the fastball is there for a strike, and the count evens up at 1-1.
Yeah, no threat of a steal at all from Colangelo at first base. 1 step off the bag was his lead, so focus on Fishbaum. He's the guy you want.
1-1 delivery. That one catches the outside edge, and De Los Santos works it back in his favor now, 1-2.
Yeah, good paint job on the outside corner there from De Los Santos, staying away from Fishbaum's heat zone, I guess you could call it.
Fishbaum digs in, ready to take the 1-2 approach, and that one is fouled back into the screen, and we'll redo the pitch.
It looked like De Los Santos wanted to get that curveball way inside. Fishbaum obviously getting a piece of it, but a lot of times you'll see the lefty on righty matchup. You'll see the pitcher try to bury that at the batter's back foot. Just that one a little bit higher than he might have wanted, but it was still a quality pitch, 1-2.
De Los Santos takes his time here. The 1-2 delivery. Chopped on the ground. Over is the second baseman. The throw to 1. Picked by Perrier again. Did he stay on the bag? He did. Newton and Perrier team up to save the ball to right. And the final out of the top of the 3rd inning.
Wow. All I can say is, wow, what a play on both ends. Newton with the range moving over. I thought for sure that ball was headed to right field. That high hop helped a little bit, but Newton showing off the range, and he had to turn and fire in a hurry. And Perrier, you talk about the height, you talk about the wingspan. Not a lot of first basemen in this league are going to make that play. And Perrier just is so good defensively over there. And just say, not a run, but he saved pitches for De Los Santos.
Certainly has, and De Los Santos will take that as he's through 3 complete here as we move along to the bottom half of the 3rd inning here at Labatt Park. We thank all of you who are tuned in to watch us tonight. Just one of the many games in the Intercounty Baseball League on this gorgeous Friday for playoff baseball. Make sure you follow us, London Majors, on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course you're watching us here on the London Majors YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Had a lot of fun with that last night, myself and Dylan. We tried to get this up to 900 subscribers last night, and we surpassed it. So we had to give them a double high five on camera. The fans always love that. Keep them involved in the game. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, get notified when we go live, and it really helps us out here up in the broadcast booth as Danny Garcia finishes up his warm-up pitches here to face the Majors in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Down 1-0, just 24 pitches through the first 2 innings, so he's done a good job at keeping that pitch count down. Reece, one of the things we talked about in the pregame show was being efficient, and he's done that.
Yeah, him and De Los Santos are going back and forth. Early outs, obviously get me over fastball to start Garcia's night, but since then it's been location. It's guys haven't been throwing strikes and getting swings and misses, and whether that's a ball in the dirt, whether that's a ball high or way off the plate, just about fooling hitters. It's a game of failure. You know that nobody's hitting over 500 right now. You know that everyone succeeding, I guess, if you want to call it that, but it's about fooling them at the plate, keeping them off balance, and Garcia down 1-0. It's been very good.
So Keith Candell at the bottom of the Majors order will step in to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning here against Danny Garcia. Garcia working from the windup here as the first pitch he brings to the plate is swung on and missed by Keith Candell, 0-1.
Yeah, big swing first pitch there from Candell, looking to do what Newton did. We'll go right after that first offering.
0-1 to the plate. Now it's fouled off his foot at the plate. Drops the bat, and we'll take a little bit of a walk here as the count moves to 0-2. A little bit of a breather for Candell and Garcia on the hill as well. It is now the crew chief and home plate umpire, Steve Cochran, will wipe off home plate and give Keith just a little bit of extra time there, as you see him on your screen taking some practice swings before he gets set for a big 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, these guys are tough. They can take that.
Looks like he's ready to go, so Garcia will grab his sign here from Keene, and the 0-2 delivery to the plate is a curveball just missing off the outside edge. Doesn't get Candell to chase. 1-2.
Yeah, really good pitch, really good idea. Going with the curveball outside. Keene set up ready for it, just Candell able to check his swing.
Curveball. Similar location, a little bit low. 2-2. No chase from Candell.
We'll see what they decide to go here. It'd be interesting to see if they decide to go fastball in. Too soft away as Keene does go in.
Goes in with the fastball, and it's fouled back into the mask of the home plate umpire. Count still at 2-2 here as Garcia will get a new ball. We saw 2 straight curveballs outside, like you mentioned there, Reece. Then they came back in with the fastball. What do you think they go with here? Do you go back outside? You've had success with the fastball in.
Yeah, and I think that's what works well for the Sox right now is Candell. He knows that both of those are options. He's got to be ready for both.
Comes with the fastball, and it's hit the other way into right field. As Candell inside outs it, and the Majors have the leadoff man on here to begin the third.
That's the 2-strike approach that you want. Any young hitters out there, you just saw that approach from Keith Candell. Like we talked about before that, either option, you go soft away, you go hard in. Candell, you obviously stay on the fastball and then adjust to that breaking ball once you see it coming and dipping outside. But Candell doing a nice job staying on that pitch. It was borderline. Did a good job shooting it the other way through the hole, through the right side. And just that's textbook 2-strike hitting. You can't do it any better than that.
So now Jacob Newton will take his second at-bat of the ball game. He took the first pitch that the Majors saw in the bottom of the first inning and drove it into the left center field gap for a leadoff triple. Now he swings through that first pitch curveball, and he falls behind 0-1.
A very big and slow curveball from Garcia there, but a good location. It was away.
Garcia will check on Candell, who's rotated towards second. He's going to go, but it's swung on and fouled back into the screen by Newton. Majors once again trying to employ the hit and run here in the third inning, but it's fouled back and it's 0-2.
Yeah, and that's always sort of a struggle with the hit and run. You see the runner at first base gets such a good jump, but you got to get a ball in play to the right side. That's the goal. Try and get Candell to third. And he had second base stolen easily, just it didn't work out. Pitch was high. Tough to hit that ball on the ground.
0-2. Garcia will look back to first, and Candell is back in safely on the dive. Trying to keep Candell where he is at first base. Once again, a good lead. Not going this time. Pitch on the ground, second base. Shoveled to 2. Throw back to 1. And not in time to get Newton, who is down the line in good time. And there's one gone.
Yeah, just not a quick transfer at second base. I thought they had that double play right away. Obviously, a little bit of a high chopper from Newton, but Gallagher got rid of it in time. Just Young took an extra split second to fire that ball to first base. Plenty of time for Newton to beat out the throw. But you want to see that quick transition into the glove and out right away.
Perfect example there of how that split second can make a difference, because they probably would have had Newton if they were a second ahead of it. Now the first pitch is fouled off by Taylor Wright, and it moves to 0-1.
Yeah, and as much as you can say is that was tailor-made. They should have made that double play. They got one out. That's what you start with. You get one out, and you're just in the same situation here. Another ground ball could get you out of the inning.
0-1 count here on Taylor Wright, and they're going to throw over to one. The throw gets away from Burdette, but not far enough that Newton is going to be able to go anywhere at first base.
Just unforced errors all season long have hurt the Sox, and that's just, you're not making something out of nothing, but you got to focus on this part of the order. 2, 3, 4, due up. Focus on the hitters. Don't try and do anything extra here.
Garcia looks as this one is chopped towards third base. Going to be a tough play, and they won't have a play as Colangelo can only pick it up and look. An infield single for Taylor Wright. Newton, who was off on the play, gets the second easily, and the Majors have two aboard here with one gone.
Yeah, and a smart play to hold that baseball. Like you said, no play at first base, but even if Colangelo tries to attempt that, his momentum is just going to automatically bring him in even closer to the plate, even closer to first base, and that Newton would be at third base right now if he lets go of that baseball. So a good, smart play from Colangelo. He knew there was nothing at first base for him, so that's the best play to hold on to it.
So the designated hitter, Cleveland Brownlee, will now take his at-bat here, second of the ball game. One gone in the inning. Curveball ripped into left field. That one's going to go to the left fielder. Coming around third base is Newton, and he will score. RBI single for Cleveland Brownlee, and it's a 2-0 Majors lead.
Brownlee wasting no time, jumping all over that first pitch, and that's where the Majors have gotten their runs. That's where they've had success so far early in this game, is they've gone after that first pitch, and it started right from the first pitch that this Majors lineup saw. Newton goes after the first pitch, gets a triple. Wright goes after the first pitch, drives in Newton. Here, Cleveland Brownlee, he saw an opportunity to bring a run home. He saw an opportunity to hit the ball hard, and he got that second run home. Just the hits are starting to pile up for the Majors now, as that's 4 straight quality at-bats for them to start this inning.
And now Robert Mullen will swing at the first pitch he sees and fouls it off at the plate. Count will move to 0-1.
And Mullen's first at-bat, he just missed that pitch. Flew out to deep left field. He just got under it.
Awaits the 0-1 delivery. And it's in the dirt. Blocked enough by Keene to keep it in front of him. Count evens up at 1-1 here on Robert Mullen.
And one impressive thing about Roger Keene here early on, obviously used to seeing Colton Fountain being the catcher for the Sox. Roger Keene doing a nice job here early on of keeping baseballs in front of him, whether it's with his glove, whether it's with his body. It's just giving Garcia some more confidence in Keene.
Ripped down the line, fair ball into left field. It's going to roll into the corner up against the 330 sign. In to score is Wright. Brownlee's up to third base as Mullen pulls into second with a double. And the Majors add on. It's 3-0.
Yeah, and could we potentially be seeing the floodgates start to open for the London Majors? We talk about Garcia being around the plate early on. This is the second time through the order. This is the adjustment that this London Majors lineup has made. And now Garcia has to make his adjustment. He's seen that guys are attacking that first, second, third pitch of their at-bat. And you got to change up the routine, maybe start pitching backwards. And talk about Brownlee going after the first pitch, Mullen ripping a double down the line, and they're hitting the ball hard. It's not like it's soft contact. The Majors are destroying the baseball right now.
And now Starling Joseph will try to keep the line moving as he swings at the first pitch. Brownlee is going to have to retreat back to third. Gets a chuckle from the fans in attendance here. You can see the smile on his face. Not at this age. That time is past in Cleve's career.
Can't even count the amount of times that we've seen him that fake steal at first base, try to throw pitchers off.
Does some things to keep himself in the ball game, and maybe 5 or 6 years ago Cleveland might have actually tried that, but Not this year. The pitch will miss low to Joseph, and the count evens up at 1-1.
And just another reason to come out to the ballpark here in London. You know, Cleveland Brownlee's going to be having fun. You know, he's going to be into the game. It's a guy you want to watch play.
1-1 delivery, ripped down the line, but Joseph is out in front of it, and it's a long strike off the bat of Starling Joseph. 1-2.
Now here, Garcia, maybe put some confidence in your catcher, Roger Keane. Maybe you get a pitch in the dirt here that you can get Joseph to chase. Obviously, living down in the zone means a lot of success, but out in front of that 1-1 pitch, and see if you can do the same here.
1-2 delivery again, and a swing and a miss. Gets Starling Joseph on strikes, and there's 2 gone.
That's a big out for Garcia. Not really a situation you want a ball in play. Sox, again, the situation here where maybe you think they bring the infield in with just 1 out, runners second and third. You know Cleveland wouldn't be going necessarily if you get a ground ball in the infield when you bring them in. So, but again, you get a strikeout, it works out, and now you got 2 down. Just limit the damage to 2.
First pitch is going to miss outside to Byron Reichstein. First time around, he reached base on a walk. Now he'll bat with 2 aboard and 2 in scoring position with a couple outs on the board here in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 runs already across. Curveball called a strike on Reichstein, 1-1.
A good pitch from Garcia. Didn't look like Reichstein really wanted anything to do with that 1-0 offering. Obviously hunting fastball in that count, so good decision to go to the curveball.
Looked like he tried to go back to it there. Missed up in the zone to Reichstein, 2-1. Garcia in the ball game so far. Had some success early on, but this second time through the order has been a little bit tougher on him. Some hard hit balls, and the Majors have put up 2 runs here in the inning. Now a 2-1 delivery. Fastball upstairs. 3 balls and a strike now here on the Majors left fielder.
Just take a deep breath here if you're Garcia. Took a walk around the mound there. Now you got to refocus. Can't leave a pitch over the middle of the plate here, 3-1.
Pitch, Reichstein in the air. Right field, tracking back to the wall, and it's off the wall. Gorecki couldn't make the catches. Reichstein will round second and head for third. 2 runs are in on what will be an RBI triple for Byron Reichstein, just missing a long ball here in the 3rd.
There's that pitch right down the middle that you didn't want. Reichstein is the kind of hitter that makes you pay more times than not, and almost getting a 3-run homer. Boy, that would have got the crowd up and loud for sure, but a 2 RBI triple is just what you want. Gorecki, great effort out in right field, just unable to make the play, but just there's a mistake that can't happen against the London Majors.
And that'll bring up Dan Perrier to the plate. Another run stands 90 feet away here for London in an inning where they've already put up 4. Curveball misses low, and it's a ball and no strikes here on Perrier.
The 8th man to come to the plate for the London Majors here in the 3rd.
Perrier takes it, thought about offering at it, but it's 1-1.
Garcia going to the windup here with a runner on 3rd.
Fouled off at the plate. Just trying to find whatever is most comfortable for him at this point in the ball game. You've run into a little bit of trouble here in the 3rd, the second time through the order, and Reichstein's not going anywhere at 3rd. So if you got to go to the full windup to feel comfortable here with 2 gone to get Perrier, it's a good move by Garcia. He's got a 1-2 count. Pitch missing low. Picked out of the dirt by Keane, 2-2.
I'd like to see Roger Keane get in a better position with 2 strikes. Anticipate the ball being in the dirt, especially when you put down 2 fingers.
Curveball called strike 3 on Perrier. Garcia gets the strikeout, and gets out of the inning, but not before the Majors put up 4 big runs here in the bottom half of the third. It's a 5-0 London Majors lead now through 3 innings complete here at the ballpark. You're watching London Majors baseball here on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning, currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Back here for the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs on Majors TV. A gorgeous night here at the ballpark. Fans enjoying the Majors out in front to an early 5-0 lead here over the visiting Red Sox. Much better crowd tonight here at Labatt Park, I will say. I saw a little bit of comments in the chat wondering what the crowd's like today. And Reece, I have this issue. I never am a good estimator at crowd size. But more than last night, I would say you're at least 1,000 tonight based on how much this place fits when it's full. That's my guess.
Yeah, give or take 100 people. I think you're right around it.
They always get mad at me when I'm wrong, too. Listen, I don't know. They don't keep tabs on the attendance here. I can just give you estimated totals based on what I know, like 3,000 looks like, what I know 5,000 looks like, and I'm going to estimate at 1,000. 1,050 if you want me to be more exact. Go to the top of the fourth here in London. We'll check out the out-of-town scoreboard here. 2 other games going on in the Intercounty Baseball League tonight. Barrie and Toronto. Right now the Maple Leafs lead 3-2, top of the 4th inning over the Barrie Baycats. And in Kitchener, the Welland Jackfish have just tied things up with the Kitchener Panthers 1-1 in the top of the 4th inning. Game 2 of that series.
Yeah, quite a few intriguing matchups in round number 1. Obviously, the 2 major ones that you think could have a chance to get to a 4th or 5th game are Barrie, Toronto, Welland, Kitchener. Just not the seasons that Hamilton and Brantford were wanting, so you kind of expect it to be a quick 3 games for those, but that's a good series, Barrie and Toronto. I think that's the one that has the best chance to go 5. I'm excited to see it.
Those 4 or 5 matchups are always the most exciting in a first round of a playoffs, and obviously it depends greatly on the league, the sport. Sometimes, NHL playoffs, anything can happen. It seems like in those, or at least in the days when we had the 1 versus 8 matchups, it seemed like anything could happen in those ones. Major League Baseball, anything can happen in the matchups because so few teams make the playoffs. But here, at least, it seems like the 1-8, the 2-7s, they're going to be a little bit of a lopsided matchup in some cases.
Yeah, kind of like what we see in the Ontario Hockey League, right? A lot of London Knights teams facing that 8-7 seed.
This first pitch of the inning is drilled out to left field. Carrying to the track, running it down, Byron Reichstein. Nick Burdett gave it a ride, but Byron Reichstein up against the fence in left field for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Burdett being aggressive in his second at-bat. He went down on strike, so you knew that you're going to see a ball in play. Burdett doesn't strike out back-to-back at-bats very often, and he put a charge into that one, and that would have definitely got something rolling for the Sox leading into the middle of their lineup. But just an overall great play by Reichstein, never taking his eye off the ball, running with his glove at his side, and just knowing where he was in terms of where the wall was as well.
Burdette probably hit that a good 335, but down the deep lines here at Labatt Park, it didn't have enough to get out. Warning track catch by Byron Reichstein, and now the count will move to 0-2 after a swing and a miss on Evan Ryan. De Los Santos will grab his sign from Mullen, get set to deliver, way ahead in the count. And a swing and a miss, strikeout for De Los Santos. He's making quick work of the Sox here so far. 2 gone, top of the 4th.
Yeah, that's the second time Ryan goes down swinging, and just another 3-pitch strikeout for De Los Santos. He can get into a long or a shorter night than you want when you get a high amount of strikeouts, but De Los Santos, out of all the Ks that he has so far, looking at 6 in total in the game, at least 3 of them have been just 3 pitches.
One 1-0 now here on Roger Keane. Second pitch from De Los Santos will miss as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Keane gets ahead in the count now. We'll see if he can use that to his advantage. He's going to take a rip at that 2-0 pitch, but fouls it off down the right field line into the seats. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, good cut from Keane there. He tried to hit the ball where it was pitched, just a little bit too late. Just get into a situation with an outside pitch like that. 2-0, you always want to pull the ball, you drive it into the left field corner, over the left field wall, but Keane, more times than not, you roll over on a pitch like that.
And now De Los Santos will step off the back of the mound here. Didn't like how that pitch sequence went with Robert Mullen. On the same page now, here is the 2-1 delivery. Up in the zone. 3 balls and a strike now on Keane. Tyler Wilson stands on deck trying to get a chance to swing the bat here in this inning. 3-1 pitch upstairs. Keane will walk, and the inning is extended here for the Red Sox with a man aboard.
First free pass for De Los Santos in the game tonight, but no panic at all. No need to panic. Just get back into the strike zone and don't try to blow it past guys, because De Los Santos isn't a guy you expect to blow fastballs past everyone. He's a good finesse guy. He works corners. He's able to get swings and misses on pitches out of the zone, especially with his off-speed stuff. So just stick with what you know. Stick with the plan.
So Santos checks, comes to the plate, and that one is swung on and missed for this first strike of the at-bat.
And if you're Wilson here, expect strikes from De Los Santos.
Wilson 0 for 1. Ground out to third base his first time through the order. Pitch will miss outside from De Los Santos. Evens up at 1-1. That last pitch, number 50 for De Los Santos in the ball game here as he works to get the final out of the 4th. And the ball will get through the legs of Robert Mullen. So up to second base is Keane. On the count, that moves to 2-1.
The Sox need to use every opportunity that they get to score a run. Here, you get your first runner into scoring position. It comes in the 4th inning. Need to capitalize. You got 2 outs. It's a big spot in the game for the Sox. If they can't figure out a way to claw back either in this inning or the next, then you might as well call it over.
Pitch inside, taken by Wilson. Doesn't get the call, and it's 3-1 now.
Now, Wilson was very interested in going after that pitch. A good hold on a ball that was just off the plate.
De Los Santos ready, swing and a miss now. Comes right back after him, and the count will move to full. De Los Santos, quick work for the first 2 outs here in the inning. Then the walk, the pass ball, and trying to retire Wilson here on a 3-2 count. Fans trying to get behind him. Here's the pitch from the lefty. Called strike 3 on the outside edge. De Los Santos, another strikeout here as he gets through the 4th. Surrenders just the walk And the Majors hold on to that 5-0 lead as we go to the bottom half.
Yeah, the third strikeout looking for De Los Santos in the ball game, and that's where that third called strike has been. It's been on the outside part of the plate, whether it's on the black, whether it's an inch or two off. It's tough to argue those. You're gonna get a bigger strike zone with De Los Santos on the mound. That's just the umpires know him. They know that he's really good, and he gets that extra inch or two off the plate. Just it's too close to take. The two-strike approach has to be way better.
It gets to the point in the ball game, too. De Los Santos not in any danger of getting his pitch count up just yet at just over 50 pitches. But you got to keep in mind, Reece, we talked about how he was obviously starting for the Majors to begin the year, but then they moved him to the bullpen over the last month. I believe his last start was in July. So his last couple of outings here, as I look at his stat sheet, 3 innings, 1 inning, 2 inning, 1 inning, 3 innings. So he has not really been stretched out in the last few weeks. So you wonder for the Majors here, although he is throwing well, he's obviously got the Majors in a 5-0 lead. Do you stretch him out more than maybe 75, 80 pitches? You obviously don't want to let him go to 120. I think that would be a little bit too high.
Yeah, and that's a decision that the coaching staff has to make. Do you stretch of 4 straight games, do you let him go and save other arms, or do you hold him off and possibly get him late in a ball game? Probably not tomorrow, but possibly Sunday. You get 1 inning in the 8th or 9th inning, just to save more arms. It's a tough call, and usually you don't see back to back. I guess if you include the game last night against Guelph, it's very rare to see that. Even in Major League Baseball, you usually get that day off, right, with the travel. But like you said, the IBL seems to want to get this first round done. So it's a tough call. De Los Santos, 3, 2, 1 inning, not high pitch counts. Got to make a decision.
Keith Candell ready, and he'll be the second batter in the inning here for the Majors. Austin Wilkie will lead things off. Garcia still on the mound here for the Sox. 5-0 lead for London. They scored 4 of those in the last at-bat. So really, I think this is a big inning here for Danny Garcia. There is some action down in the Brantford bullpen. See how this inning goes. See if he can settle down a little bit and get the Sox another inning of work. Otherwise, it might be into the bullpen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you need a 0 here if you're Garcia.
First pitch is going to be ripped to left on a line and caught. So a good start as Wilson's underneath that one, and 1 pitch to get 1 out for Garcia.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. That's what he needed in this inning. He needed to get that pitch count back to a reasonable number through 4 innings. And I thought that ball had a chance to dip in front of the left fielder Wilson, but he did a nice job coming in just enough, bending over a little bit and trying to get under that baseball as much as possible. Good piece from Wilkie, jumping on that first pitch again. We've seen that a few times with London Majors hitters tonight.
So now Keith Candell with 1 gone. Squares around a bunt, pulls back. It's a curveball called a strike on the outside edge. And he falls behind 0-1.
You talk about the pitch count for Garcia. Only 3 pitchers in the bullpen for the Sox here in Game 1.
Looked like a pretty good pitch there from Garcia, not called a strike. Count now to 1-1 here on Keith Candell. Top of the order on deck here for the Majors. Curveball called a strike, 1-2.
Yeah, Garcia back into his rhythm here, it seems like. In the 4th inning, he's getting that baseball, and he's getting right back on the rubber.
And now that one's going to skip to the backstop. Got past Keene. Count goes to 2-2.
There's a very big hole in the middle of the diamond on the infield. Jordan Young playing the normal shortstop position, but it looks like Gallagher at second is playing a bit over towards the right side.
Curveball on the ground, third base. Colangelo, strong throw, a little bit high. Takes Nick Burdett off the bag, but he'll tag out Keith Candell. And 2 fairly quick outs here for Garcia in the bottom half of the 4th.
Work low in the zone and get ground balls. Get your defense involved. And not that he had a problem with walks in that 3rd inning with 4 runs coming across for the Majors. It's actually good to see the Majors put the ball in play. That's what makes baseball so much better. And just keeping the defense involved and not keeping them flat-footed. It's tough. There's so much going through your head when you're on the mound. You got to focus on one thing. Oh, but there's another thing that you got to think about. Oh, and then there's a third factor that comes into the equation. It's so hard, right? You're worrying about your defense. You're keeping them engaged. You're worrying about the hitter, kind of how you want to pitch him. Now this being the third at-bat for Newton, it's just who's on deck. It keeps coming and coming. It's where the mental toughness comes in big time.
Pitch missing outside there. Count moves to 1-0 to begin the at-bat, 2-0 to Jacob Newton here. Now curveball. Got underneath it into shallow center field. Coming on Fishbaum, and he'll be there to make the catch. And Garcia retires the Majors in order here in the bottom of the fourth inning. So a fantastic bounce-back inning for him. Another 0 on the board. It's still a 5-0 London lead through 4 innings complete here at Labatt Park. This is the Intercounty Baseball League on Majors TV.
Capturing emotion in every shot.
We are back here inside the Game Day London broadcast booth at Labatt Memorial Park here in London. Noah Smith, Reece, Doumani, and some fans taking in the action on the baselines there. They have seen their Majors go out in front to a 5-0 lead so far. Pedro de los Santos continues to work well here for the Majors. Garcia settled down after a 4-run bottom of the third, and both pitchers really, besides that third inning, have looked pretty good tonight, Reece.
Yeah, you can call this a pitcher's matchup, I guess, if you want to. Like you said, minus that third inning, it's been good all around. The hitting's been good for the Majors, not so much for the Sox, but it's been an all-around good ball game. You didn't expect a whole lot coming into this series from the Sox, at least. Just 2 wins. There's not a whole lot of positivity throughout the year. It's been really unfortunate, especially after the season they had last year. One of the hottest teams coming into the 2021 playoffs, and then obviously running into the eventual champion London Majors. But just this year, you didn't expect much, and through 4 innings, it's been a good ball game. The Sox have been in it. It seems like they've been engaged throughout the first 4 frames, and that's what you want as you move throughout a series. Who knows? It could potentially become a matter of fatigue for the Majors being in this stretch of 4 straight games and having a very busy week just all around in general too. So it's about staying in ball games longer. The Sox have been out of games a lot in the second, third inning. You want to be in the game when you get into the 7th and 8th.
Pedro de los Santos back out to toe the rubber here on the top half of the 5th inning. If there was an inning that maybe gave him a little bit of trouble so far tonight, it was the top half of the 4th. And we talked about how he's been out of the bullpen for the Majors through his last 4 or 5 appearances. And now as he works into the 5th for the first time since, I believe, July 31st, we'll see how he does another time through this Red Sox order. Count moves to 1-1.
And the score has a lot to do with that. 5-0, still a close game. The Majors, if they find a way to get a few more runs in the bottom half, maybe you'll see them sit De Los Santos down.
De Los Santos off the hill. It's off his glove, and the leadoff man will reach here in the inning for the Red Sox.
Yeah, tough play all around. The ball kind of finding its way to no man's land just to the left of the pitcher's mound. De Los Santos, he falls off that way, but a really tough play for him to get to that ball Jordan Young, he's not the fastest guy, but he can still make his way down the line. And if you're the Sox, you got to build off this. You got to string hits together here. It's been hard to come by through the year, but you just got to pass it on to the next guy. Don't try to hit a 5-run homer to tie the game, because that is impossible. Just, single works in this situation.
Ball missing up in the zone there to Gallagher. Count now 1-0. Sox have the leadoff man aboard here in the inning after this single off the glove of Pedro de los Santos. Comes to the plate. Now it's ripped on the ground. Second base. Newton, Candell, Perrier. 4-6-3. Bring it up. 2 outs on the board.
That's just a bad break for the Sox. You get yourself into a good spot to try and get a run across, and then good teams get those kind of breaks. De Los Santos gets his ground ball just the way you draw it up. Tailor-made 4-6-3. Tough to find a better double play combo, especially when Keith Candell's involved in the Intercounty Baseball League. Just De Los Santos, that's a good pitcher making a good pitch.
First pitch will miss inside here to Andrew Gorecki. Double play ball after an infield single is exactly what you want for a pitcher. Working into the 5th inning here. Not only does it get you 2 outs fairly quickly, saves your pitch count a little bit. As now this one chopped but foul, third base side. Count now 1-1.
Yeah, first time we're seeing Gorecki swinging the bat here. He tried to get aboard with a bunt in his first time up. That came in the 3rd inning, but Gorecki, a guy who's hasn't played a whole lot of games, another junior call-up. Just it's an experience for him getting to see IBL pitching.
De Los Santos pounds the outside of the zone. It's 1-2 now. Looking to have himself a 1-2-3 top half of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Gorecki down on strikes, and De Los Santos will strut off the field here with another 0 on the board through his first 5 innings on the mound.
Yeah, De Los Santos just giving the Sox no hope through his first 5 innings. He's been dominant. One guy has reached scoring position, and that came in the 4th inning. It's almost not been fair the way he's come out tonight and performed. And good players perform in big moments, whether it's in round 1 versus 8, or it's in the finals. They're on whenever. It's fun to watch.
Fun to watch Pedro, who's looking a little bit more like 2021 Pedro de los Santos here in the ball game tonight as we continue on under the lights here at Labatt Park in London. A 5-0 Majors lead. 1 run in the bottom half of the first inning, I should say. 4 in the bottom of the 3rd on 6 hits so far in the ball game. And we'll see Danny Garcia come back out to the mound here for the Red Sox, who put up a 0 after that 4 spot in the 3rd and looked a little bit more comfortable on the mound.
Yeah, and Rick Pomerleau, the Sox coaching staff, they've let pitchers go. They've let guys. Oh, that looks fun.
Look at those kids out there enjoying that. Trying to escape the ballpark? Is that what they're trying to do?
Why? It's playoffs. Come on.
Not enjoying a 5-0 lead here in the playoffs, I guess. I tell you what, they took down those hedges, Reece, and they put a giant pile of wood chips out there, and it has been one of the hottest hangout spots for the kids at the ballpark.
Yeah, it kind of takes you back to, well, now anyways, in this part of the summer, you see the Little League World Series, all the kids in the outfield and the hills and sliding down. Obviously not as much room, not nearly as much room here in London as there is in Williamsport, but the kids are having fun at the ballpark, and this gives an opportunity for the adults to breathe while the kids play out in the outfield.
And depending on where you're sitting in the grandstand here, you can probably still keep an eye on your kid from a distance of about 500 feet, so it's a win-win on both sides of the situation as we get set here for Taylor Wright to come to the plate and Danny Garcia, who we were just talking about there. See if he can go through another clean inning here in the bottom half of the 5th.
Yeah, Rick Pomerleau has let his starters go, sometimes a little bit longer than he maybe should have, but he lets them pitch.
First pitch will miss to Taylor Wright, and the count moves to 1-0. Like a pretty good pitch to start the at-bat for Garcia. Now we'll have to come back to Wright behind in the count. Missing upstairs with the fastball, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, you definitely can't call Rick Pomerleau Captain Hook. He lets guys go. You see a lot of starters go into the 7th inning with high pitch counts.
Hit the opposite way in the air. Wilson underneath it. He'll make the catch. And Taylor Wright is retired. One gone to begin the bottom of the 5th inning.
That's 5 straight retired for Garcia on the mound, and there has been no hard contact at all. And that's what hurt him in the 3rd. A lot of balls were being struck pretty good. And since then, it's been a lot of lazy fly balls or slow ground balls right to guys. It's just, there's his adjustment now. We saw the Majors make the adjustment offensively. Now Garcia has made his adjustment on the mound.
And a big cut there from Cleveland Brownlee out in front of the first pitch he sees, 0-1.
Sox are playing a bit of a shift here against Brownlee as well. Gallagher is just a few steps to the right of second base. Jordan Young way over on the left side of the diamond.
Outfield here for the Sox not really pulled to the left side any more than usual, as this off-speed pitch is fouled off and will make its way onto the roof and out of play here at Labatt Park. 1-2 on Cleveland.
See Garcia here go to the breaking ball in the dirt. In a situation where you don't have to put one in the strike zone.
And a swing and a miss. Came after Cleve on the outside part of the plate. He chases it, and it's a strikeout for Garcia. 2 gone here in the inning.
And that's the second time he's gotten Brownlee to go down on strikes. You know, minus that hard hit ball in the 3rd first pitch, he's handled Cleveland really well. He's actually hasn't looked too bad through the middle part of this lineup. Mullen 1 for 2. He had a double and scored in the 3rd, but you know, you look at Joseph in the 4 spot, 0 for 2 so far. So, you know, it hasn't been good, but it hasn't been bad for Garcia through the middle part of this Majors lineup.
First pitch off speed offering to Robert Mullen, missing upstairs. Here's the 1-0 delivery. That one just missing the bottom of the zone. Looked pretty good to Mullen there, 2-0.
Yeah, it might have been just the glove movement from Keane again. Not a guy who catches a whole lot, only about 2 or 3 appearances behind the plate this year.
To the plate and missing now. 3 balls and no strikes to Mullen.
The Sox definitely miss Colton Fountain behind the plate when he is not in the lineup.
Garcia ready again. Here's the 3-0 delivery inside to Mullen, and I think he might have gone out of the way of that one. Nonetheless, he's going to reach first base with 2 out here in the inning.
Yeah, just a hiccup here for Garcia. Get back in the zone. Like I said, he's had success against Joseph here early on in the game. This being Starling Joseph's 3rd at-bat. Coming in the 5th inning, just get back to your plan. Get a ground ball. Get your team into the dugout.
So Garcia now has to work with a runner on. As that one's going to skip past the glove of Keane and go to the backstop. And Mullen will advance up to second base on the play.
Garcia's just got to take a deep breath here. Maybe take a walk around the mound. We saw him do that once or twice already in the game so far, where he just kind of steps behind and recollects his thoughts, and that's what he's got to do in this situation. 5 straight balls from the Sox right-hander. We're not focused about that guy on base. Focus about the guy in the box.
Ball ripped but foul into the Majors bullpen off the bat of Starling Joseph. Not a good piece of it, but just a strike on the board, 1-1. So Garcia will gather himself again and get ready for the 1-1 offering to Starling Joseph. Here's the leg kick delivery. Swung on and missed. And the count will move to 1-2 as Keene gets that one back to Garcia here with 2 gone in the inning.
Big pitch coming up for Garcia. One of the biggest offerings for him so far in the game. He can't allow that 6th run to get across. For the Majors, you almost for sure want to get that across. Who knows? This might save an extra arm that you might not have to use. This might save an inning for De Los Santos. If you get up by enough, you might not see a reason to keep him out there.
Pitch is going to miss on 1-2.
Yeah, that just goes back to how well do you manage your pen in the postseason. There's going to be a lot of games in very little amount of time.
Checks back on the runner again. Mullen at second. And now time will be called, I believe, by Starling Joseph. No, they're going to say that there was a balk on the play by Garcia. Home plate umpire Steve Cochran was the one to call it. Reece, I missed that one.
Yeah, maybe just a little flinch. Not too sure.
Keene's going to come out and chat with Garcia, but both of us up here in the booth missed it. Steve Cochran confident he did not. A little shimmy on the mound, perhaps. Nonetheless, Mullen will advance up to third on the play.
You didn't really see an argument there from Garcia, more just confusion from Roger Keene. I think Garcia knows that he made an extra movement there that he shouldn't have.
So now Garcia ready. Pitch inside to Joseph. Has to dance out of the way of that one. Looked like a breaking ball that just didn't break enough. 3-2.
Yeah, just started that pitch too far inside. More in a 11-5 action with Garcia's curveball. Doesn't really come side to side like we've seen his slider.
And inside it'll drill Joseph with the fastball. Garcia did not mean to do that as Joseph will take the base here. And the Majors will have runners at the corners here with 2 gone in the inning.
Yeah, it just looked like a fastball that got away from Garcia. You get 2 strikes on a guy, you're never looking to hit him, even if you're really mad and you don't like something that the other team did. You got 2 strikes, you got 2 outs. No runs have come across yet. No, absolutely no reason to hit a guy, but you also can't be afraid to throw inside, and that's what a lot of pitchers will lose focus on. They'll forget that, hey, I hit a guy. Maybe I shouldn't go in there anymore. No, you got to continue to throw inside. A lot of success is had when you get guys, when you jam guys, when you get guys to roll over on pitches inside.
First pitch to Byron Reichstein was fouled off and into the screen. Count now at no balls and a strike on the Majors left fielder. Garcia working in a little bit of a jam here, bottom half of the 5th inning. Called a strike. Curveball dropped right in there on Reichstein, and it's 0-2. That's the pitch tonight, Reece, that has been good for Garcia. That curveball drops it in on the outside edge. See if they go back to it here. They do. It's hit on the ground. Past the diving first baseman, and Burdett and into right. Into score comes Mullen. Joseph will go first to third. And the Majors add on to the lead here with a run in the bottom of the 5th. It's 6-0.
Yeah, Reichstein, great at bat. 2 strikes. You go down early. Again, didn't try to do too much. Just hit the ball on the ground, and that's all you need sometimes. Burdett doesn't have the greatest range at first base, and the plan really was for him to be the designated hitter this year. Just circumstances, he's had to step into first base. So just, Reichstein putting the ball in play, getting another run home.
Extending this lead to 6-0 here for London. And now Dan Perrier will bat once again here. Goes ahead in the count 1-0 after the first pitch miss from Garcia. Perrier, a ground out and a strikeout so far in his 2 appearances to the plate in the ballgame. Curveball just missing at the bottom of the zone, 2-0.
all this offense for the Majors coming with 2 outs as well. We talk about how quickly that Wright and Brownlee went down to start the inning, but 3 straight quality at-bats for the Majors have gotten them another run.
On the ground and past the diving glove of Gallagher into right field. The run will come in to score. It's Reichstein's turn to go first to third, and it's a 7-0 ball game.
The Majors here just having team at-bats. The runs continue to come for London, scoring every other inning in the game so far. 1 in the first, 4 in the third, and 2 so far here in the 5th inning. Just this game is getting out of hand for the Red Sox really quickly. Majors just shows you how good and how deep they are as we get ready for Austin Wilkie to come to the plate. He's the only guy in this Majors lineup yet to reach base.
And a visit to the mound here as Danny Garcia has run into trouble here. The pitch count up over 80 now in the bottom of the 5th inning. And once again here, Reece, we've talked about it countless times throughout the night. You touched on it in the pregame show. The Red Sox all year long have had trouble with 2 outs of getting through the inning. Too many runs scoring with 2 outs, and we see it here again. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning against 2 solid bats on the Majors, but then you run into some trouble. You can't get out of the inning, and now you're in some trouble.
Yeah, just the failure to put a team away.
Missing outside, 1-0 here to Austin Wilkie.
And that's really where a lot of games have been lost for the Sox. Early and with 2 outs. Talk about the first 3 innings. At least to start the year, you saw the Sox start 0-10, and then the losses kept on coming. Just early in games, they were out of it. Again, improvement throughout the year, but yeah, just the little things. The failure to get your team back into the dugout and put the other team away. Baseball's tough, but that's an aspect that you got to be able to manage in order to have success.
Too many times you'll see pitchers, and obviously not the case with every single guy, but if you get those first 2 outs, you see some guys just take the guard off, right? You feel like you're in cruise control. You're going to get through the inning, and especially in a league like this here in the Intercounty Baseball League, and especially against a team like the London Majors, you can't take your guard down as soon as you get 2 outs on the board, because the next guy in line, he can do the job. The guy after him, he can do the job. As that one's fouled off by Wilkie, count moves to 3-2, pardon me.
Yeah, and it didn't help that you get the first 2 outs, but you're still in the 4 spot. You go with Mullen, 2 outs, and then you end up walking him. 2 free passes, Mullen, and then he hits Joseph. Just not the right part of the order that you want to drop your guard and lose focus. It's been a struggle here. He's had to be out of the stretch. We've seen him struggle in the stretch in this game.
3-2, Perrier takes off, and a swing and a miss. Blows it by Austin Wilkie, who is retired for the 3rd time in the ball game, and the Majors are retired here in the bottom of the 5th inning, but not before 2 more runs come across the score here for London. It is a 7-0 ball game as we move to the 6th here on Majors TV. Reece Doumani on the call when we come back here from Labatt Memorial Park.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah. I have to say, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Welcome back inside the Game Day London broadcast booth here at Labatt Memorial Park. Reece, Doumani, Noah Smith here with you. Game 1 in a best-of-5 series, the 1-versus-8 matchup in the 2022 IBL playoffs. Majors looking to go back-to-back as IBL champions, and they would eliminate the Brantford Red Sox if they did in back-to-back years. Of course, 2-0 in the semifinals in last year's playoffs, and obviously, Noah, a lot more excitement with the Sox last year. Majors, near the top, of course, but when you get into Labatt Park in the playoffs, the crowds are here. No matter whether you finished with 20 wins, 30 wins, or if you're the Red Sox, 2 wins, if you're unable to get up for a ball game at Labatt Memorial Park, it is going to be a very short series if you're the opponent.
Yeah, it sure will, and we're seeing that already early on here. And not that this has been a terribly played game by the Brantford Red Sox by any means. I mean, there has been no errors that have cost them any runs. A few small mental mistakes, if anything. But like we've touched on in the past innings, as that one's fouled off, and we'll see if Colangelo's okay. It has been, just not being able to put guys away when you get up in counts and when you get up in innings with 2 outs. This is a good London Majors team. You can't afford to give them any free passes as well.
Yeah, hopefully Colangelo able to stay in. Only one position player on the bench for the Sox in the game, and it is a junior call-up. It is Chad Pomerleau, the youngest son of Rick Pomerleau. He had 3 boys, all played baseball growing up. Brady, Cam, and Chad. Looks like Colangelo's good to go. Here's the 0-1 from De Los Santos. It is going to be hit on the ground, second base. Very nice hop. Newton in time over to first, and Colangelo is out number 1 here in the 6th.
Great job by De Los Santos. He keeps working here as he goes to the top of the 6th. Lots of zeros on the board for him so far, just the 2 hits surrendered. And partly in the fact that he's just trusting his stuff to get ground balls, right? Throw strikes, let the defense do the work, and they've done a good job at him. A couple clutch double plays so far in the ball game, and that's all you need sometimes as a pitcher.
Now back to the top. Fishbaum takes his strike. He has hit a couple of ground balls in the game, both up the middle. First one was to short, second one to second. The 0-1 swung on and missed. And quickly again, we've said it time and time again tonight, De Los Santos is ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
Getting ahead has been the key for De Los Santos so far in the game. You touched on it there. It seems like every time he faces a batter, we're saying that he's ahead in the count, and no different here as he gets up 0-2 on Fishbaum, who's over 2 in the ball game.
Into the windup again, 0-2, not close. Definitely making Mullen work back there. Seen quite a few times to get down on his knees, have to stretch out to get baseballs. Sort of makes you wonder why guys decide to catch. But as someone who did it, it's a lot of fun. 1-2 fouled off.
One of the more grueling positions in baseball, and I was a pitcher, so I was on the other side of things, and let me tell you, the catching position often goes without the respect that it deserves, because a pitcher, your game can be it can be broke by the catcher that you have, whether they're blocking balls, how they call a game sometimes. It'll make you a better pitcher.
1-2, Fishbaum goes too far, and that is yet another strikeout for Pedro De Los Santos.
Another strikeout for Pedro, number 9 in the ball game for him so far. He has been working so well against the Sox in the ball game. Pitch number 68, and he's thrown 45 strikes so far for 9 strikeouts.
The Sox knew it coming in. You just haven't seen the aggression at the plate that you want against a guy that is around the zone as often as De Los Santos is. Majors have done that. They've swung early in counts. They've hit the ball hard on the first pitch quite a few times. Just haven't seen it from the other side. Burdette takes a second. Looks like he had some dirt in his eye. Here's the 1-0. It is going to be hit on the ground. First base. Perrier, nobody covering. He's going to have to quickly get over, and he touches the bag to retire the side. Probably a lot closer than De Los Santos wanted, but Perrier makes the play. Once again, it is a 1-2-3 inning, second straight inning that the Sox go down in order.
Great job by Pedro to get the ground ball there and get himself out of the inning. Good night at the ballpark here as the Majors lead by a score of 7-0. Going into the bottom half of this 6th inning.
Then every other inning for the Majors as well. 1 in the first, 4 in the third. An inning that saw 8 men come to the plate and a string of 5 straight hitters reaching base. It started with a Keith Candell single in that third inning. As it looks like we're going to get a new pitcher on the mound for the Sox as well.
So they finally do go to the bullpen here. That will end the book on Danny Garcia, just shy of 90 pitches, 5 complete innings for him in the ball game.
Looks like right-hander Alexander Gowing. Not someone that's going to blow it by you, but he throws from the side, so it's a little bit different.
If you're the Sox here and if you're Gowing, you're probably going to be expected to try and get them through inning 6, 7, and hopefully 8. Try and finish off this ball game. A little bit of a long relief type role here, down 7. Unless the Sox can mount a comeback, you'll need to fill 3 innings worth of work on the mound. And we've touched on it. If you're just joining us here on the broadcast, the schedule for this playoff series goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the first 3 games in the series. So you got to be ready, and you're going to have to save some pitching. You can't afford to throw everybody here, throw the whole kitchen sink at them in game 1.
Well, that's where the score plays a huge factor, and we talked about it with De Los Santos about how far he would go in terms of the amount of pitches that he throws, not so much the innings as he's been very efficient, but just the amount of pitches that he throws. And, of course, with the Sox, bullpen hasn't been very well populated all year long, so they've had very limited options, but now only 2 guys remain, at least for tonight's game, in that bullpen. That'd be Gabe Bruder and left-hander Brian Louie. As Candell steps in, takes a strike.
Keith in the ball game tonight is 1 for 2. Singled his first time around, grounded out his last time at the plate.
0-1, big swing, and Gowing quickly ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Number 9 spot has killed the Sox all year. Nothing in 2 pitches, going to be popped up. Foul territory. Keane moving over. Burdette coming in as well, but it's going to be Roger Keane making the catch for the first out.
It's a tough play for Keane coming over to make that grab. Long way to go for Nick Burdette, and in the big foul territory here at Labatt Park, you probably still had another 25 feet that you could have covered if it went there. So both those guys getting moving as quick as they can, and then it was Keane who was able to make the basket catch for out number 1.
Now Jacob Newton, 1 for 3, tripled on the first pitch that he saw in the game. That came in the first, and he ended up coming across to score the first run of the ball game. Majors have added 6 since and lead at 7-0. The 1-0 from Gowing. It is going to be lined down the left field line, but foul.
Gowing has thrown a lot of strikes so far, which is exactly what you need for a reliever out of the bullpen in a game like this.
Big swing, 1-1, and now Gowing once again ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gowing out of the stretch. 1-2 is going to be hit in the air, left center field, deep, going towards the scoreboard. Outfielders are looking up, and that ball is going to go. Jacob Newton's solo shot here in the 6th inning. Majors add another. It's now 8-0.
Great piece of hitting there, just putting the bat on ball for Jacob Newton. And the Majors pick up their first home run of the 2022 postseason as that one finds its way over the right center field wall in front of the Labatt Park scoreboard. And this lead is extended 8-0.
Now Wright steps in, takes a first pitch strike. Wright 1 for 3. He's got an RBI as well as a run scored. 0-1 is hit into center field. Fishbaum coming in, and he is going to make the catch. Now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Fishbaum had to come in, and he read that one perfectly off the bat. To the right, didn't get a whole lot on the swing. Kind of off the end of the bat and into shallow center field, but Fishbaum runs it down. And there's 2 gone here for Gowing in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
We'll see if Gowing took any notes from Garcia of how to handle Cleveland Brownlee. Garcia got him to go down on strikes twice. But Cleveland jumped all over a first pitch fastball in the 3rd for an RBI single. Now here's the first pitch from Gowing. It is up and away. Again, the shift being implemented by the Sox. The 1-0. Just missing the zone. Cleveland putting himself into a good count. 2 balls and no strikes.
Pretty good location there for Gowing on the outside edge. Doesn't get the call from the home plate umpire and puts him in a hole 2-0.
Now 3-0. 3-0 green light.
He might have it. He's kind of left on his own in this situation.
He takes it as it was not close to the zone. That's a 4-pitch walk to Cleveland. And the inning will stay alive.
Reece, I was going to make a compliment on Gowing coming into the inning here. First 9 pitches he threw, he was 1 ball, 8 strikes. And then I was going to say he's looked like he's not worried about these Majors batters. He's just going to throw strikes, make them hit it. If you want to beat me, you're going to have to swing the bat. And I think he kind of changed when Cleveland Brownlee came to the plate there. It looked like he was trying to stay away from the bat of Cleve.
There's an intimidation factor, I think, with Cleveland Brownlee being one of the best all time. You know, putting together the season that he did. Just you got to pitch to him. That's what isn't very good when you're an opposing pitcher. You got to throw to him because of the guys behind him. And MVP candidate Mullen now at the plate. Oh, 2 way outside.
Missed on that one, but for the first 2 pitches against Robert Mullen, he came right back to him. He said, all right, I got to throw the strikes here. I can't afford to keep walking, guys. If Mullen hits one, he hits one.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Mullen goes down on strikes, but not before Jacob Newton goes yard, right center field to extend this London Majors lead. It is 8-0 after 6 complete. You're watching London Majors Baseball on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand. and we can service clients right across Canada.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Welcome back inside the Game Day London broadcast booth here at Labatt Memorial Park. Another beautiful night for baseball in London, Ontario. Reece, Noah Smith here with you. Game 1 of the IBL quarterfinal series between the Majors and Red Sox. Game 2 tomorrow night in Brantford, and then the following day, Sunday, Game 3 back here in London. That one is a 6 o'clock start. First pitch to Evan Ryan is going to be hit up the middle. All kinds of time, and there is your first out.
Quick and efficient first out there for Pedro de los Santos to begin the inning. And with that, you might have saw a new second baseman. That is Chris McQueen taking over at second base. And to bring you all those changes, let's see if we can get all those in order. Reece, in center field, Phil Whalen will take over for Austin Wilkie, it looks like. Chris McQueen is into second base, taking over. Taylor Wright has actually moved from third base to shortstop. And then in at third is Gibson Kreminski. Behind the plate, Kieran Bowles will take over for Robert Mullen.
Yeah, 3 innings to go. You start to play to outs. Not so much you look at the amount of innings left to go. You look at how many outs you got. Red Sox have 8 outs to work with to try and score 8 runs as they trail here in Game 1. Roger Keane stands in. Here's a pitch from De Los Santos. It is on the outside corner, strike 1.
Good start there to the at-bat for De Los Santos, who's already got 1 quick out to begin the inning.
0-1, swung on and missed. Keane looked a little indecisive there on that offering. De Los Santos working quickly, but time being called.
Yeah, he was working quickly, but I think a little 3 or 4 extra seconds in between that last pitch, and that was enough for Roger Keane to want to have time called.
Here's the 0-2. Keane went way too far. And that is your second out.
Fantastic work so far, and Pedro de los Santos continues to dice up the Brantford Red Sox order. That's strikeout number 10 for him in the ballgame.
Just a lot of times, Sox hitters having no answer at all. Doesn't really look like they have a plan coming up to the plate. A lot of 3-pitch strikeouts. As Wilson stands in, the first pitch is downstairs, ball 1. Guys are standing in the Majors bullpen, but nobody is throwing. It looks like this is De Los Santos' game. Might use him up here in round number 1. 1-0 is low and inside.
Yeah, the Majors, as we've touched on in the broadcast, played last night against the Guelph Royals for the pennant clinching game, and they'll have 3 straight against the Red Sox here this weekend. And despite being a team that has had good pitching this year, they would also like to get innings out of Pedro tonight and try to save some of those arms. They got tomorrow to deal with, and then Sunday as well. Arias probably not going to be ready for any of those games. He didn't pitch a whole lot last night, but they'd like to rest him.
3-0 in for a strike. And potentially maybe Bo Lewington getting a start. He started the last time the Sox were here, and he looked very good in that start. Again, just the guy that's all around the plate, the guy that throws strikes. The Sox having no answer for him on that day either, Friday night here at Labatt.
Yeah, you would like to think that Arias and Fernandez at least will not be available tomorrow in Brantford. Farrington maybe. He only threw 2 innings at the back end of last night's game, but those 2 certainly not available.
3-2 is fouled off. De Los Santos is ready to sprint into the dugout.
He's still ready to go here as we work into the 7th. Yeah, Lewington tomorrow. Still got some bullpen arms you can go to as well.
Got to decide on a baseball here. De Los Santos wanting the perfect ball here. You have old school pitchers and older pitchers rolling in their graves, thinking, I'm using those marks on the ball to help it spin. Here's another 3-2. It is right down the middle. Strike 3 called. Not sure what Wilson was looking for. But De Los Santos continues to dominate. 8-0 at stretch time.
Yeah, stretch time at the ballpark here. The Majors enjoying an 8-0 lead here over the visiting Red Sox. De Los Santos looking like vintage Pedro here in this ball game tonight. That's his 11th strikeout of the game, and the pitch count really the item that has impressed me the most. 7 innings of work, and I got his pitch count at 81, which is about as good as you can get.
Yeah, I think at this point, no one throwing, a couple of guys running. 9 innings looks very possible right now for Pedro De Los Santos. As we are in the middle of the 7th inning, a quick update around the Intercounty Baseball League. 3 games going on as we speak, or 2 others. The Barrie Baycats, Toronto Maple Leafs, all tied at 3 at Christie Pitts. They're in the top of the 7th inning. And in Kitchener at Jack Couch Park, the Welland Jackfish already up 1-0 as they took Game 1 in Welland last night, 7-3. They lead at 5-2 over Kitchener in Game 2.
Don't forget the next home game for your Little Majors will be this Sunday night. Home start time 6:05 p.m. for Game 3 of this first round.
We touched on how that Baycats Maple Leaf series is going to be one to watch. It's already off to a good start here in the 7th inning, a tie ball game. Kitchener has been hanging around with the Jackfish, trailing by 3 now, but not out of it, especially at the friendly confines of Jack Couch. I believe there is a full slate of games tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, Reece.
Yeah, the final series, Hamilton Cardinals, Guelph Royals, getting underway tomorrow. That game's 7:30 at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Like you said, all 8 teams are in action on a Saturday. First pitch from Gowing is fouled off. And Starling Joseph to lead things off. 5, 6, 7 spots are due up for the Majors. The 0-1 pitch, a big and slow breaking ball, stayed high. The count is even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball outside, 2-1. Joseph has reached base once. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th, came around to score. This ball is going to be lined to third, and Colangelo makes the play as he moves to his left. And there is one out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Throw the ball over the plate. The Majors are going to be aggressive, and you're going to get outs. They're going to find gloves eventually. They can't all be hits, and that one, Starling Joseph got a lot of that baseball, lined it to third base, but Colangelo was right there in the right spot to make the out, and there's one gone to begin the bottom half of this inning.
Here's Reichstein, first pitch called a strike. Byron has reached base all 3 plate appearances. As he awaits the 0-1, fouls it back. He has walked, tripled, and singled in the ball game.
Just missed a home run earlier on tonight.
The 0-2 is popped up. Left side near the line in left field, but a very good running play from Tyler Wilson in left to retire Reichstein, and 2 quick outs here in the 7th for Gowing.
That was a long run for Wilson out in left field. He knew that ball was going to hang up in the air. Reichstein popped it a mile high, and I think that ball was going to stay fair if it did drop. It looked right off the bat, Reece, that it was going to go well foul, but it stayed fair, and Wilson had no choice but to try and run it down, and he made the catch just in front of the foul line for the second out.
Count 1-0 here to Perrier. And that pitch got him. Not a whole lot of movement, but it caught him enough as the pitch rode inside. So some 2-out traffic here for Alex Gowing. Kind of the danger zone for the Sox all year long.
Yeah, I feel like a broken record repeating myself again here, Reece. But once again, fantastic work through the first 2 batters of the inning. You get yourself 2 outs against 2 strong bats in the order. And then I know this one just slips out of Gowing's hand there, but you come in and you hit Perrier with 2 outs and you put him aboard, and it just extends the inning, and now you got to work from the stretch.
This ball going to be hit on the ground to second. Gallagher can't make the play. It pops over him and goes into right field. Well, the Majors are in business with 2 outs. Runners at the corners following the E4.
So the hit batter, the error, and now the Majors have runners at first and third with 2 outs in the inning. And Gibson Kraminski will come in and swing. We saw him come in as a defensive replacement. And it'll be his first at-bat of the ballgame.
Yeah, he takes over Keith Candel's spot in the lineup. Candel finishing 1 for 3. Here is the first pitch to Kraminski. It is inside, ball 1.
Now time calling at the plate by Kraminski. Switch hitter for the Majors. A little swing from the left side against the righty Gowing here.
Yeah, definitely a rare sight in the Inter-County Baseball League. Don't see it a whole lot. 1-0 called strike. There's Dalton Pompey with the Guelph Royals switch hitter for them.
Kraminski got off to a good start when he joined the Majors. Slowed down a little bit this season. Ended up hitting .260 on the year.
1-1 broken bat. Ground ball. Burdette just going to take it himself. And that will retire the side. So 2 men left on base, and the Sox are able to shut the door as none come across for the Majors. But after 7 complete, they continue to lead 8-0. Noah's back on the call. The top half of the 8th. You're watching London Majors Baseball on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
We welcome you back up here into the Game Day London broadcast booth here in London at Labatt Memorial Park. We move along top half of the 8th inning here in Game 1 of the quarterfinals. Noah Smith, Reece Doumani off to my side here. And Reece, we are seeing a pitching performance here from Pedro de los Santos. That is something that we haven't seen from him really since 2021.
Yeah, and it's been nice to see. The Majors kind of needed a performance like this where you get into 4 games in a row. You need length out of a guy, and whether the decision was in an 8-0 game to start getting other guys in and maybe save De Los Santos, we're obviously now into a point where he's probably going to go all 9. So just a performance that was needed for the Majors, and De Los Santos has been really good.
He's held the Sox to just 2 hits so far, and he's done a fantastic job at being efficient as well, as that one is swung on and missed by Jordan Young. Just pitch number 82 for Pedro in the ball game in the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, Young 1 for 2, this being his 3rd plate appearance here in the 8th inning.
This one is hit in the air, right field. Joseph on the run, and he'll make the catch just on the line, and there is one gone here to begin the 8th inning of work. Let's check out the London Majors single-season strikeout record. Jose Arias beat that this year. Of course, the legendary Mike Kilkenny was the longtime leader, that record from 1975. Arias breaking that this year. You see Owen Boone in the number 5 spot. Pedro not close to that this year, but it just shows you the strikeouts for the Majors, especially from these two, have been fantastic this year.
Yeah, and that just speaks to why the Majors are in first place to end the regular season. And Arias, it's just he's been dominant all year long. And the K totals, 132. You think about it over the stretch. Obviously, with it being an extended schedule this year, he was able to accomplish that. So, extra games mean extra milestones, extra moments.
Hit on the ground, shortstop, throw across the diamond in time. And quickly, 2 gone here in the inning.
Yeah, right, making that look very easy. And it was funny watching Perrier receive that ball at first base. Just kind of stood there, put his glove out, and made the catch. But De Los Santos, again, continues to be very efficient, getting early outs. We talk about it, looked at it probably around the 4th, 5th inning about the pace he was on with pitches. We could easily see him go the full 9, and as we play in the 8th, it's more than likely going to happen. A complete game performance in Game 1 is always something that's pretty special.
Continuing to be efficient here, even into this 8th inning of work. 1-0, called a strike as it catches the outside edge. Count evens up at 1-1 here for Pedro. Grabs his sign from Kieran Bowles and delivers. Big cut there by Gorecki, and it's 1-2.
De Los Santos continues to attack the strike zone, and here number 8 hitter got to continue to do the same. I may have jinxed him back in the 3rd inning when I said, throw a strike here to Colangelo, but it's just be in the zone here against Gurecki.
Swing and a miss. And Pedro De Los Santos strikes out another batter here, and he is through the 8th with another 0 on the board as we head to the bottom half.
And he still looks energized through 8 innings. He's got a big smile on his face. It's, guys love to see it, and the bullpen needs a game like this, whether you use a bunch of guys the rest of the way, or if you get 3 complete games, that'd be pretty unreal as well. But it's just the fans have enjoyed it all night long. We've enjoyed it all night long. It's just certain moments in certain games are special, and this is a performance for the ages for sure, especially if the Majors go on to win another IBL championship. You look at the start of the playoffs with a complete game performance like De Los Santos has had, it just adds to make it even better.
So we get set and ready here for the bottom half of the 8th inning. Going back out onto the mound here for the Brantford Red Sox. They are announcing the 50-50 winner on the field now here at Labatt Memorial Park. Worth noting as well, we have mentioned it a few times, but the next game in this series won't have to wait long. It's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock in Brantford. Tune into the Red Sox YouTube page with Reece up here in the booth. He'll be calling the action for that one, game 2 in this series.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Playoff baseball at Arnold Anderson Stadium is different. You look at back when they were winning 7 straight championships, 7 straight championships, that place got full. And it wasn't full last year, despite a good run by the Sox, losing to London in round 2. People came out, and it was a fun atmosphere to be a part of. So it's just different. Arnold Anderson Stadium, there's so much history. It's going to be a fun atmosphere for sure for game 2.
So we're ready to go here, bottom half of the 8th inning. And Chris McQueen will come to the plate. This is his first at-bat of the ball game. Came in as a defensive replacement at second base when the Majors got some of their bench pieces in, and now Chris will take his first at-bat here to lead off the 8th inning.
And what a way to end your night if you're Jacob Newton, solo home run in the 6th.
Called a strike there on Chris McQueen, and it's 0-1. Look and delivery. Pretty good location from Gowing. Doesn't get the bite from the home plate umpire. 1-1.
Yeah, Gowing has done a nice job coming in and just pitching effectively and throwing strikes.
Looped the other way and caught by Wilson in left. Hung up enough in the air for him to make the catch and retire Chris McQueen to begin the inning.
There really hasn't been a whole lot of hard contact from the Majors as well since Gowing has come in relief of Garcia. Obviously you get the speed up there with Garcia. The ball's clearly going to travel a little bit faster, but it's been a lot of off-balance swings against Gowing and just soft contact to all of his fielders.
Yeah, just the home run was the only hard contact of the Majors' relief, as this one is going to be hit out to left field on a line again, and Wilson's going to watch this one drop in front of him. A base hit for Taylor Wright, who's aboard with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, good piece taking that ball the other way, again hitting it where it was pitched. And Gowing, just a spot you don't want to live in. Ball caught a lot of the plate.
That'll bring up Cleveland Brownlee, still in the ball game here.
You'd have to think if he gets on base, he's more than likely see a pinch runner in this situation.
You likely will. He'll pull himself if he doesn't get pulled. First pitch will miss low to him. Count moves to a ball and no strikes on Cleveland Brownlee, the designated hitter. He's 1 for 3 here on his birthday. Pitch to the plate. Now he's going to rip one into the left center field gap. This one's going to keep on rolling all the way to the fence in left center, and jogging into third is Wright. Brownlee's going to be held to a long single. Puts him at 2 for 4 on the ball game as he looks off towards the Majors bench. And here comes the pinch runner. And I believe that is Braden Farrington coming off the bench to run for Cleve.
Well, we saw that a few times. The last time Brantford was here in London, as the fans giving Cleveland a nice round of applause following a 2 for 4 performance. We saw pitchers make their way onto the field as position guys. Last time these two teams met, Farrington, I think Boone made it into the field, playing some second base.
So Farrington takes over at first base for the pinch runner for Cleveland Brownlee. Farrington also this summer took his second career at bat in the Intercounty Baseball League. He had one in 2018 as well. Always a sight to see as that first pitch will be taken low by Kieran Bowles. A ball and no strikes. Called strike. Outer edge. Count evens up.
Gowing just one pitch away here. Get yourself a ground ball. Try and get a double play here. Put up another 0.
That one. Similar location. Doesn't get the call. 2-1.
It's nice to see the umpire not expanding the strike zone. You usually see when you get into blowouts, it does get bigger, but things have stayed the same here as we play in the 8th.
That one is fouled off by Bowles. Count now at 2-2. One gone here in the inning. Majors have runners at the corners. Right at third, and Farrington, who replaced Brownlee at first, as that one is swung on and missed. Bowles is down on strikes, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, big strikeout there for Gowing, just being around the zone, going with the breaking ball on that pitch, and you want this man coming up with 2 outs. Starling Joseph, he doesn't have a hit in the ball game yet, but that could easily change here and could potentially put the Majors into double digits. But, Gowing doesn't look too bothered on the mound. There's traffic, but there's no panic at all.
Cold strike on Starling Joseph. Falls behind 0-1 in the count. Another one just missing off the plate this time. Doesn't get the call. Joseph 0 for 3. Ground out, strikeout, and then lined out. He also reached base and scored. He was hit by a pitch. Just missing again. 2-1.
Quite a few breaking balls here from Gowing against Joseph. Doesn't seem to want to throw him the hard stuff, and even inside, all these pitches looking to go away.
Just missing off the outer edge. Gowing, I think, wondering where that one missed.
I saw Steve Cochran there acknowledge that, saying, well, it's off the plate. I haven't given it to you all inning.
That one inside. And Starling Joseph will walk here to load the bases with 2 gone.
I think a lot of this has to do as well. Roger Keane, just inexperienced catcher, just too much glove movement. You got to be a lot more calm with the movement. Just you can frame it up nicely, but when you get into moving the glove, it's all about the wrist.
So Byron Reichstein now will bat with 2 out in the inning. Bases loaded here. After the walk to Starling Joseph. Now it's going to be hit on the ground, second base. Picked up. Throw across to 1 by Gallagher. And 1 pitch to retire Byron Reichstein. The Majors will strand the bases loaded here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. But it's an 8-0 London lead after 8 complete here at the ballpark. They'll look to close it out in the 9th. When we come back, you're watching London Majors baseball here on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
We're back here inside Labatt Memorial Park here. It's the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs, and Pedro de los Santos is back out to the mound to try and finish off what he started here in the ninth.
This has been really fun to watch here, Noah. It's one of the best pitching performances I've seen all year long. Just he went out and did his job. He knew that he wasn't going to try and blow it past guys, even though he's had quite a few strikeouts. It's been a good ball game.
On the ground, shortstop, one pitch, one out for Pedro here to begin the top of the ninth inning.
And that's just understanding what you're capable of doing. De Los Santos isn't going to hit 90, 95 miles an hour. He's going to locate his pitches to be successful. And when you understand your role, when you understand what kind of player you are, it just makes your job so much easier. It makes your manager's job so much easier. And, that just translates to the rest of the team. Everybody knows what their role is, and championship teams, they all understand it and they all accept that role.
Done a fantastic job in the ball game. Here is his 1-0 delivery in the dirt. Blocked by Bowles. 2 balls and no strikes. Majors leading by a score of 8-0 here in the top half of inning number 9. Trying to close this thing out as that one will miss inside and Pedro falls behind 3-0.
Let's get back into the strike zone here. Deep breath.
That one's called a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike here. Jesse Fishbaum, top of the order here for the Red Sox.
0 for 3 in the game is Fishbaum.
This one chopped over to third base. Can be a tough play. Fishbaum can run. Barehanded throw, and it's going to be picked up by Perrier there. He's able to squeeze that one. I was looking at the fence line trying to find that ball, but he saves it from going off into the distance. It'll be an infield single for Jesse Fishbaum, and he's aboard with 1 gone.
The amount of bases that Perrier has saved tonight, at least 4 or 5 extra bases that the Sox could have, but he's just been a tank. He's been a vacuum over at first base, sucking up anything that comes near him. And most of those plays have been outs.
Burdette goes around on the first pitch offering from De Los Santos. Falls behind 0-1.
Burdette also 0 for 3 in the game. Went down on strikes back in the first.
And that one will miss low. 1-1 here on Burdette.
For the Sox here in the ninth, just try and find a way to have good at-bats. Don't give them away. Try to find some positives heading into game 2.
Called strike, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now here on Nick Burdett, the first baseman for the Sox in the ball game. Fishbaum at first after the infield single. Look, 1-2 delivery, swing and a miss. And Pedro de los Santos continues to have a ball game. Strikeout number 13, which sets a high for him. And a fantastic performance. 2 gone.
Yeah, Nick Burdett, seen it all year long, lefty on lefty, hasn't had the most success, and obviously you favor that right-handed pitcher, but just a good night. De Los Santos is doing it to everybody.
Falls behind 1-0 here on Evan Ryan. 0 for 3 in tonight's contest. Looks at the runner, comes to the plate, up high, ball 2. On the ground, second base. High hop, picked up by Taylor Wright. Shovels to Chris McQueen at second base. And the ball game is over. It is a complete game shutout for Pedro de los Santos. And the Majors win 8-0.
Yeah, just overall, the Majors were the better team from the first to the last pitch. The London Majors were the better team, and that's kind of been the narrative against the Sox all year long. They haven't been in ball games most of the time, but just this is a performance that you look at as, they were better than us, and De Los Santos had a lot to do with that. Just all around, Majors way better tonight.
The Majors win this ball game 8-0, the final score. We welcome you up here to the Game Day London broadcast booth for a final time tonight as the Majors wrap up a win in Game 1, Reece, and we get to see a career-high 13 strikeouts for Pedro de los Santos. You thought he had a good year in 2021. He comes out here after not starting for almost a month and puts on a show for us here in Game 1.
Yeah, and I think that's what the most impressive part of it was, is that he hadn't made a start. He hadn't had that longevity that we saw in 2021, and the fact that the coaching staff for the Majors, Roop had so much confidence in him. Hey, you're going out for the full 9. You're dealing. There's no reason, despite the score, there's absolutely no reason to take you out of this ball game right now. So, he went out there and he did his thing, and Pedro de los Santos was Pedro de los Santos tonight. It was really fun to watch.
The Brantford Red Sox, no runs on 3 hits in the ball game. The Majors, 8 runs, 11 total hits in the game, and they take an important win in Game 1 of this series. It's a quick turnaround. We've talked about it throughout the course of the broadcast, but the London Majors will have to go to Brantford tomorrow night and see if they can ride off the momentum.
Yeah, and expect a better lineup from the Sox tomorrow night. Guys like Jamil Orozco, John DeZomba, a guy who travels from Western New York. Tough for him to get here on a Friday night following work. So expect those 2 guys to get back into the lineup, be a little bit deeper 1 through 9, but it's obviously still going to be a tough test. London Majors are going to have to be on for the full 9 innings again when visiting ballpark. It always gets fun at Arnold Anderson Stadium. The fans always get on the visiting team, so they're going to have to be ready right from the first pitch.
First pitch tomorrow is going to be probably around 8:15 by the time the sun sets in Brantford.
Yeah.
You can catch the stream on the Brantford Red Sox YouTube page. Reece will have the call there as Game 2 gets underway tomorrow night. We're back here for our next broadcast Sunday night. It is a 6 o'clock first pitch. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock for a 6:05 first pitch here from Labatt Memorial Park for Game 3. The Majors take Game 1 here in the Intercounty Baseball League quarterfinals. 8-0, the final score. From our entire broadcast crew here in London, we say thank you for watching, and we'll see you Sunday here for Game 3 of the Intercounty Baseball League's quarterfinals.